You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
All right, we're good. Go.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
And welcome. Let's see, what would be the proper? And welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show where four Scots review just the best games and movies out there. Tyler and Dave and Ian, and also John play old games.
Which we actually all played.
Together.
For a minute.
Absolutely.
Together. Absolutely. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What are we playing today, Tyler? What are we talking about?
The Hunt for Red October.
Nice. A total surprise.
And the movie.
To me. I didn't know this. I didn't come prepared. I'm not ready.
I've played 3.5 whole minutes of the game, so I feel like I'm definitely qualified to talk about it.
You are.
You kind of are. I mean, you kind of are.
I feel like we're all a little more qualified than we were when we got here.
Definitely.
I think we got a pretty good
Definitely.
picture of it. So, yeah.
We get the full
we're all right.
experience. You get,
We
we
did.
get the full experience.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it
Very
more.
convincing.
Well, I'm in it.
I know. I can tell.
Because it's true.
That was genuine Dave.
I just got an alert that my dryer is done drying.
Fuck yeah.
Your fucking
Holy
dryer has a Wi-Fi notification.
It's dumb.
It
yes.
love
Does
it.
that
No,
it's
shit.
smart.
No,
yeah.
Tanya would
Smart in
love.
I
its
mean,
own way.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of shit like, when I hear about Wi-Fi connected refrigerators and stuff,
Internet
I'm
of
like,
Things.
who gives a shit, man? Like, I'll know when I'm out of something, but I don't always know when my dryer has stopped. So that's actually kind of neat.
Does it also play a little song?
Yep.
Yeah. I love ours does. Ours plays a little song, and I love that.
My
Have
right,
you written words to the jingle yet?
my right
Close
fingers
our
plays my
drive.
favorite song.
Man, I now I'm like sitting here thinking about how I maybe need to replace my like 25-year-old Maytag washer.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
hold on to that.
No, I mean
bitch
I'm
with-
not gonna. I'm poor. So
Your life.
that was all conjecture.
Because even like when we finally got it, the people at Lowe's were like, it's probably going to last you about 5 years.
Seriously?
Like, yeah,
What the
figured.
fuck?
It's like, that's just how they make them now.
Jesus.
So see you again.
Well, I bought-
for this
I
whole
bought
thing
the-
in 5 years.
How about
And
the
you were like,
loud ass
well,
Maytag?
Let me tell you about the experience I had getting this.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be seeing me in 5
That's
years.
true. That's true.
Someone else will.
That
Anybody
makes
that like you have it on hand, I can take it right now. You get my business.
It took me an eighth of that 5 years just to get the fucking thing.
this man fractions.
It's like they planned it. So it was like if they sent me the washer, I could have line dried. I could have done something,
Yeah.
without the dryer. And I even had the dryer. My old shitty dryer still worked. I would have been fine, but no. Send me the dryer right away. No washer for 3.5 months.
Jesus.
Just for 3 months, you're getting messages from your dryer taunting you. Clothes are dry.
Awful hungry, boss.
I'm sorry you said that. Thanks, little dryer.
There's change in me.
Because I was going to try to restart it, but I can't.
Your fabric softener sheets stink. Passive aggressive dryer. If you buy the passive aggressive model, you get an extra 2 years.
Tyler's dryer over here like,
Yeah.
don't ask me silly questions.
It's a Dark Tower joke.
That explains why I didn't get it.
Well, you see,
Just,
Notice
read,
the
just read
distinct
that
laugh
third
of
one there
laugh-
real
this
quick,
lack of
John.
laughter.
You'll get it.
Oh,
Just read that 10 inches of
okay.
books. Don't ask me how I knew that was 10 inches.
I was gonna say, That 10 inches? Because I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
No, it's definitely not.
Get that 2 feet of book right.
According to posts I've made, it is.
An eighth of that stack of books is the size of my penis.
This man fractions.
Oh shit! What have you guys been up to this week?
Fuck.
Yeah, sweet.
No. I didn't say fucking.
Yeah, it was
said
more like fuck. Wait for it.
I don't have a whole lot to talk about TV wise. I have been watching Ozark.
Ozark's good.
I'm
Fuck
almost
yeah.
done with Ozark, which I've enjoyed. It's a very difficult show to watch. It's very sad and depressing, but I've enjoyed it. And
Good though.
I'll report back on that one when I finish, probably by next week.
That poor boat preacher.
And then I watched a funny movie that I was probably going to avoid, except that Tanya decided at random she wanted to see it because she was in the mood for a funny movie, like a silly, goofy-ass movie. It was called Ricky Stenicki. Have you heard of Ricky
I've seen
Stenicki?
some
So many
previews for that.
ads. So
Yeah.
many ads.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
John Cena is a fucking great comedic actor. He plays the premise is that there's these three friends who have made up this guy named Ricky Stenicki to use as an excuse to go on trips together without their wives. And they're always saying, well, Ricky Stenicki is sick and we're going to go see him in the hospital, or he, this, that, or the other. And so they use him as an excuse. Well, at some point in the they have to prove Ricky Stenicki has to make an appearance because they've overlied, and they now have to produce Ricky Stenicki. Well, on one of their trips, they're in Reno or Atlantic City. It's Atlantic City. And John Cena plays
Go
this.
trashier. Go trashier
Yeah.
than even Reno.
I got you. Atlantic City. And Ricky Stenicki, or his name's not Ricky Stenicki, but John Cena's character, I can't remember, it's like some like Rod. He does like this sex show where he dresses up as like rock stars and sings songs about like jerking off.
So Andrew Dice Clay's thing.
They pay you to do that?
So like, just as a, I think I have something here that might elaborate a little bit on what I'm talking about. If I can get the.
I did watch a documentary about Andrew Dice Clay.
Love your hand with spit. Lay it on your back. Now it's time to whack. When a boner comes along, you must grip it to make the cream come out your dong. Just unzip it. Shout, my penis.
Wow.
This is John Cena at his absolute best. I laughed, and he's really funny throughout this whole movie. He is like this.
Okay.
And I do recommend this movie. It is a funny watch. It is in no way, shape, or form suitable for children, as you may have heard from the songs I just played. But it's on Amazon Prime right now. And
I saw that. That was fast.
I'm super
Yeah.
impressed with John Cena's ability to, how many times I sit here and think about how many times you would have to shoot that if it were me saying those words in front of a camera, because there's no fucking way I could keep my shit together while saying that stuff.
He has absolutely no shame, and that's okay. He does a really good job of
it
playing
works
this
for him,
role,
apparently.
and I like that he's kind of leaned into his comedic side. So yeah, Ricky Stenicki is worth a watch. 3.5 stars. Wisdom Sage says check it out. The other thing that we've been so recently, my oldest son Gage, hurt his foot again. He's got a foot hurting problem. He stood up and twisted his ankle because his leg was asleep, and he didn't realize it, and he put too much weight on it, and it twisted his ankle.
Yeah, it hurts.
And so he's been kind of nursing that.
Man,
for a
when this
while.
wakes up, it's really gonna fucking hurt.
And yeah, and as he has been, so he's just been working from home and more and everything, and so he and his girlfriend have been watching a lot of reality shows, a lot of them.
I take it John's heard this story.
No,
No, I don't know what
I was
he's
tracking up
laughing
thinking
about.
about something else. Sorry.
You think about spooge on my tummy? Because I've been thinking about that line since I heard it. Because that shit's hilarious.
I like when you get a boner, you must grip it.
That's good. That's good.
Wait for the Billy Idol one. He does Billy Idol.
The look of pure joy on your face when
yeah.
you said that.
I cannot
He does
tell
Billy
you.
Idol. Get ready.
I laughed so hard at this fucking thing.
Is the rest of the movie? It's
This-
good. The rest of the movie's good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Right.
good. It's okay.
It's
It's
got
pretty.
Andrew Santino in it. I fucking love. Andrew
Yeah,
Santino.
he
He's so
is
good.
he is a rabbi. He plays a rabbi, and
I'm
Santino's
Bobby
a
Ball.
Jewish name.
God,
Like,
it's so good.
so it's definitely worth the watch. But anyway, Gage and his girlfriend had been watching a bunch of reality shows, and they started watching this one called The Traitors, which is on Peacock, and so apparently it's this show, and I've been watching at it because Tanya's into it now, and I've been watching at it with her while in between games of like Overwatch, and apparently, so it takes place in a Scottish castle, and Alan Cumming is the host. And there's this whole thing where they've got to try to like do all these challenges to build up money in the pot, and whoever wins gets all the money. But there's like people that were picked through in the group that as traitors, and it's these, you know how like reality shows can get like really cutthroat, and the people can start like talking trash to one another, and this was like takes that to a factor of 10, and it's been like almost cringe, embarrassing schadenfreude to watch it, but it's really super entertaining. Schadenfreude. So I recommend, if you've got absolutely nothing else to do, Traitors is on Peacock. There's like two seasons of it. And then the last thing I was going to mention is, speaking of Overwatch, my friend John Turley, I don't know if you've met him. He's sitting right next to you, Dave.
Oh, this John.
Nice to
Taylor.
meet you, man.
Yeah.
Has-
I bet we would have gotten along really well had we met, you know.
Yeah, in our like late teens,
many years ago.
early 20s.
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
More like 22,
More
I
like-
think.
yeah, it's a bigger number than 20.
Quarter of a century ago.
Shut the fuck up.
I've known John longer than I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
about to say, because Dave, we have been friends for 21 years now. So even you've been friends with these guys for even longer.
Okay. That was fucking
Our
depressing. Can we
friendship
move on?
Drink this year.
Time has a face on the water. It's okay.
It is. And the world has moved on. But John has been joining me playing Overwatch
Yes, I have.
lately, and we've been doing rather well as a team. so
Surprisingly.
far.
Shockingly.
And I'm waiting to get to that point where I hook up a Bluetooth keyboard to my Xbox so I could type and tell all the people whose asses I'm kicking that I'm kicking their PC asses with my controller.
I'm using tilt controls.
I'm using tilt control. I'm playing on a Switch. Headshot.
Yeah, you were like, and it's crazy. Like, he's been running like Widow and like, you know, characters that require some precision.
Yeah, I've
Some
been doing
serious
well
precision.
with the hit scan
Wrecking people.
characters with my controller, and it's just become another facet of enjoyment for me in Overwatch, because now with John plays on PC, so when I play with him, we get put into the PC pool, and I play against PC players, and I'm having absolutely no side effects from this other than joy. other than every time I slaughter somebody on the other team, I think to myself, they don't know I'm using a controller. And if they did, they would quit playing Overwatch.
Motherfuckers don't know about my controller.
Take a picture of me holding today's newspaper and my Xbox controller in front of the windscreen.
Yeah, like it surprised me because it had been a very long time since I played, and actually I had really never played but one time Overwatch 2. I hadn't really played since it became Overwatch 2. And man, I was surprised at how easy it was to just pick it right back up and jump back in there. Now I haven't got into any like ranked or competitive play.
And I don't usually
would
play ranked.
I feel like that might be a splash of cold water, but man,
It's honestly in a lot of ways it's better.
playing quick play,
You get
it's
a
like
better
we've
quality
been
of person.
doing well. Surprisingly.
we've been
Saying
having a lot
splash
of
of
fun.
cold water made me think of something.
Okay. Well,
I'll write this down.
That was that I just wanted to bring up Overwatch again because it's been a lot of fun playing with you, John, and I hope you want to continue
Thank you.
playing because
I do.
Even Tanya can attest. I was like just beaming. I was like, God, we had so much fucking fun, and I haven't had. I play Overwatch out of a compulsion that I can't explain. I should have stopped playing it years ago.
A crippling addiction.
It really is. I'm truly addicted to Overwatch. I love it. It's my literal favorite video game ever. And but I will play it even though I'm not having a good night or I'm having whatever, and I get mad at it. And you know how it is. Everybody knows how that goes. I should put it down and I don't. That kind of thing. But I just have had a lot more fun teaming up and having fun with you, and possibly we're going to bring in our friend Jeff to play with us.
Yeah, hopefully.
So maybe we can get that to come back and be a thing. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about Overwatch and Ricky Stanicki and Ozark.
I'm checking out Ricky Stanicki. I've already played it.
We should do an episode on a Patreon episode on Ricky Stanicki.
Let's add it to the
whiteboard.
Hey, when
Small
you-
pile of things that we've said we're going to do
When you
for
get
Patreon.
to that, I will throw in on that because I want to watch that now. Like,
Get it.
I've
It's a-
seen the previews and
that
thought it
video
looked pretty
sold
funny,
me,
but yeah, good job.
It's probably available to you guys, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and you have Prime anyway. If you have Prime,
I thought that's what you meant. I would never watch it somewhere where
It's like
it's not
suggesting it's like you weren't suggesting that he pirate the Dark
on.
Tower
God no!
book.
Jesus Christ, Ian!
What do you think I am? Some kind of monster? I'm talking about myself. Somebody talk about themselves so I can stop.
John, talk about yourself.
I have I have a coworker. Ian knows him.
Why would I know him?
So this particular coworker constantly references two movies from the late 90s. I don't even know if they're from the late 90s.
Oh, okay.
Well, that one too. But like he constantly references two movies that I somehow managed to miss. One of those movies being Down Periscope.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry, that's from like the early 90s.
Even I've seen
Actually,
Down
that's like
Periscope.
That's a great movie.
Down Periscope.
The quintessential submarine movie.
Yes, I mean, yeah,
we should have done a double feature.
We're gonna talk about Hunt for Red October,
Hunt
but
for
let's,
Red October.
let's
This
face it,
game
Down
could have been
Periscope.
Down
when you're looking for tactical realism, you go to Down Periscope
I haven't
with
seen that
Kelsey
either.
Grammer. Okay,
This game could have been Down Periscope, but it would have
it's-
been
Yeah,
exactly the
it
same.
could have been anything with a
it's
submarine.
90s as fuck. So like, just know that. Just know that going in. Like, there's gonna be some.
Lauren Hawley is in it, if that tells you anything.
Let me Google
Yeah.
that person.
Oh, you'll
Dumb and
know her.
Dumber.
It's the second you see her.
The girl from Dumb and
Yeah.
Dumber. Yeah, she's in it.
So yeah, I had never seen this movie, and this dude constantly makes references to this movie. So, and he's like, "Man, you need to watch it. You should watch it. You love it." And so finally, I watched it.
Who? J-Lo? Oh, God. Never mind. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, like he's always been so
It was strangely
finally.
erotic the way you just moved your mouth to him silently, and he was like, "Oh,
Oh, that.
oh yeah."
If you knew what he was
He made
saying
the
and
Christian
you
Bale
knew.
American Psycho face, and he did it.
Hey, do you remember? Do you guys?
Boom.
Sorry to interrupt, John.
spooge on my tummy.
Sorry to interrupt, but
No.
do you remember the time recently when I was talking about an employee that I was really pissed at, and I was
Oh, same one.
same guy,
Oh, okay.
that guy.
Okay.
That guy could you got to understand.
He's all right. He's fine.
Yeah, exactly. You got to understand. He can be very,
He's
very
fine.
hot and cold.
Just
you
not
know?
at work.
John knows what's up.
Anyway, I watched Down Periscope. It was actually
You
pretty good.
watched it? That's
Yeah. Oh no, I
hilarious. I
watched
love
it.
it.
I
Okay.
watched it because I like Kelsey Grammer. I
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
Frasier. Like
Right.
it was
Hell
fucking
yeah,
going out of
Scramble.
style.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I got the
So-
Funko Pops.
And
out
I
there
have
of
to
all
say,
of them.
I have to say, it was interesting to see Kelsey Grammer be something other than Frasier or Beast.
What about
and-
Black Frasier though?
Black Frasier.
One of my
Is that a thing?
30 Rock thing.
Man, I need to finish
I
watching
forgot
30
about
Rock.
that.
It's an early season. It's a 30 Rock thing.
I gotta
and it's-
rewatch
it's
30
just-
Rock. Yeah.
It's the best because they're clearly on the set of Frasier. And it's just Black Frasier. And it's identical. It's like identical. It's just black ass.
I've
Nice.
been trying to get Melissa to watch 30 Rock with me. She will not do it.
Dude, 30 Rock fucking rules. Nikki started watching it. I came home from work like one day and I was like, "Oh, you're watching 30 Rock?" She's like, "Yeah, I wanted something on in the background." I was like, "It was great. Fucking yeah, Black Frasier."
I've seen a few episodes, but they were kind of spread out, you know.
Oh
so
man, that show's super great.
I need to watch it because I love Tina Fey.
And you can
I
watch it.
I like Alec Baldwin a lot too.
Man.
Hey,
Who
speaking
was
of Alec
in
Baldwin,
Hunt for Red October.
Him being called Jack after watching a shitload of 30 Rock. Like Nikki and I watched Red October together, and like the first word to him is Jack, and we both just turned and looked at each other.
Lemon.
oh shit. But yeah, so that's a thing that I watched was Down Periscope. It's surprisingly pretty good. I mean, obviously with a grain of salt that it is dated, but it's still pretty good. And Kelsey Grammer's comedic timing really works in that movie. Like
It really does. It's a good movie.
it's a good movie.
I saw
really
it in the
is.
theater.
Solid.
Saw Down
Nice.
Periscope.
Nice.
A rare.
Wow. This man. Wow.
3.5 stars. Wisdom Sage says
I-
check it out.
Yeah, no, I would give it
solid
a
3.5.
solid 3.5. Yeah. Yeah, Captain Good Nerd says check it out too. Anyway, that and that's pretty much it. I haven't really watched a whole lot lately. I did want to say a couple of things because I'm like halfway through the latest episode that you guys did, the Michelle Prophecies. I did want to shout out to Michelle. I'm with you on this. Steven Universe is pretty awesome. I watched a lot of it with my kids. I did like the show. I feel like Abby. I feel like you weren't quite fair to it in your description. But
I liked Abby's description better, though.
Abby's description was definitely more funny, but maybe not
Inaccurate.
the most
but
accurate.
Funny.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But no, I genuinely liked it. I didn't
Like when I
get
pee in the morning.
Ba-dum-bums.
Wow.
I'm seriously going to find a
Yeah.
rim shot to put in there.
Yeah, but no, I actually really enjoyed the show. I didn't get the
You took it out. You pulled it out of my brain.
Ernest P. Worrell's dog, Rimshot.
I didn't know that. I have never seen
no.
an
And I
Ernest
was
movie.
just thinking that. I was like, oh, should I say
Wait,
that?
you-
Some of them are good.
You've never seen an Ernest movie?
No, I've only ever saw the commercials he was in that got
Yeah.
him famous
Oh,
to begin
Prison,
with.
Halloween, and Camp are all fucking great.
I will say that I tried to rewatch Saves Christmas like 2 years ago and was like, I'm sorry I suggested we watch this. I did. I had to apologize to my family because it was not as good as I remembered. Maybe it just takes a little while to start.
I'll go to my room
Halloween
now.
is the best one.
Halloween
is number
Scared
one.
Stupid. Ernest Scared Stupid is
That's the prison one, right?
no.
Ernest Goes to Prison is the prison one.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Little on the nose, but yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is only good when he survives his execution.
And Ernest Goes to Camp is the one where he gets a turtle stuck on his nose.
Wait, let me write this down.
But there
Camp
are like
equals
8
turtle
more that
stuck
aren't
on
produced in
nose.
major studios that aren't as good.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a basketball one, right? It was like
Basketball, there's one where he's Illinois Smith instead of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
God damn.
I didn't
Wow.
see any of that.
But the takeaway from this is his dog's name is Rimshot.
Rimshot.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. I felt like it was important.
No, but no. Hey, man, this is a place where it is important.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway, that got me kind of thinking about other cartoons. You mentioned Gumball, The Adventures of
Yeah,
Gumball.
I love Gumball.
Great show. Really like that one too. There was another one that was real fucking weird too, called
The Oblongs.
no,
Oblongs
but
is
that
fucking
is a
weird.
weird one. Regular Show.
Oh yeah, I love regular
So
show.
exactly.
Nick
So I
Cage's
was thinking
Regular
about
Show.
it, and I was like, man, my kind of like trifecta of like kids shows of that time, because that's when my kids were growing up and watching
Yeah.
those shows. So I was watching them too. What would be Regular Show, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and fuck, I went completely blank.
Gumball?
And Gumball. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you on all of
I'm
those
drinking,
except for
so-
Steven Universe. But man, what's great about those is I feel like what's great about those shows is they're written in a way where it's like, I mean, I guess it's for kids, but these are really stoner
Oh,
comedies.
there's definitely yeah.
like
100%.
Regular Show for sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because there have been several times I've been watching it with Henry, and like he's laughing and I'm laughing, but for different
totally
reasons.
different reasons. Yeah, absolutely. I was really like, I don't think they made that many seasons of Regular Show, and that
don't
kind of
rem-
makes
I
me
don't
disappointed
remember.
because I forgot Gravity Falls. Fuck,
Oh,
holy
yeah, it's a
shit,
good show.
Gravity Falls is probably the best. I mean, I liked all of those shows, but man,
Bill
Gravity
Cipher
Falls
just
is
seems
fucking-
like such a phenomenal villain.
yeah.
Henry fell
Yeah.
down the lore. That's like the first thing
Dude,
Matt Pat's
that's the
got some
first
good
lore
videos.
rabbit hole
Yeah.
he fell down
I-
was Gravity Falls.
My
and Bill.
kid was literally using a hardback version of the third journal, with the 6 fingers
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
like as a mouse pad the other day. I was
Yeah.
like, shit, I forgot you had this book.
We've got that book as well.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much it.
Dave, what you been doing, man? What did you write down?
So I just wanted to say, last week on the show, I said something jokingly to terrified Michelle in response to one of her calls, and she reached out and said that she wanted everybody to know she's definitely not a pedophile. So she's not a pedophile,
Fair enough.
and that's as far as I know the truth.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
What was that? I mean, I don't know her. I don't know her. I'm just saying that
Well, also,
she wants everyone to know she's not a pedophile.
We met once, and she was not fucking any kids when we met.
That's right.
So as far as we have known, definitely not.
That's good enough.
I
for
would be
Tadpog.
willing to go so
Stamp.
far.
Stamp.
Not a pedophile.
No posters, no nothing. We got it. And also, just to kind of supplement what you said,
Yeah.
in response to her request, I did retract that from the episode. So anyone who heard it after the fact didn't hear that part,
Yeah.
Like
which
me.
was the intention. But
You didn't hear it. Yeah. So it worked.
he did it in one night.
Yeah.
So, but just so she knows, in case she didn't go back to listen, we did take that out of the episode, and that's that.
Yeah.
So-
Thank you for doing that.
No problem.
I appreciate it
Not a
very
problem.
much.
And I mean, something to consider is they, these same people that I've known for like a super long time have implied on multiple occasions that I take it in the ass. So I mean, just keep that the burger bottom
thing.
Oh, is that what that means? John, I am so sorry.
So don't take it too personally. All right, I've known these guys for
Oh,
years.
man, John, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
I thought of you today because a coworker of mine is trying to cut carbs. She was eating a cheeseburger that her sister had brought her. So she ate it with just the burger bottom. She took
Just the
top
bottom.
of the bun off. Yeah. And I was like, John hates that.
I think it might have been more.
I was like, oh, you locking up that?
I mean,
She just smiled.
That's the implication. Also, I think it needs to be
Wistfully.
addressed. Is that the implication? Also, was that Josh Nance was my top, and I mean,
Hell yeah.
I love Josh. Josh is a great dude, but like,
Horrible top.
yeah,
1 out of 10. Would not bottom for it. man.
A very, very soft top. Like he's not degrading. He's not choking. He's just like, ugh.
it's like you were there.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Sit very still. I'll get you a towel.
I just did the sheets.
Should get one of those rubber covers.
Man, the clothes gonna be so mad.
But just about the sheets.
I had a fucking drink
We
in my mouth.
discussed this. We discussed me topping you. She was cool, but don't get anything on the sheets. And damn it.
Oh, but where were we?
I'm still reading The Dark Tower. I think Ian and I are kind of about at the same
We're
point,
neck and neck at this point.
which has been kind of fun because I've like sending messages to Ian about like, what chapter are you on? Did you get to this?
He told me something about the chapter that I was in. He's like, bro, the end of that chapter, I got choked up.
I did. I really did. I thought I was going to cry on the interstate.
I did too. I heard that today.
I thought I was
I
gonna
listened
cry
to
on the
that
interstate.
today on my way to pick up dinner. And I was like, oh no. No, not now. Yeah, it was rough. So
Yep, and they keep going on that way until the sixth book.
Sixth one.
and then it goes right back up. The seventh book is like this thick.
So okay. Well, it's funny because like the actual books have like Dark Tower 1, Dark Tower 2, and
Yeah, it didn't
you
start
guys-
that way.
Okay.
It-
When I listen to you guys talk about them, like I'm never sure like what the order is.
So the Gunslinger is Dark Tower 1.
I see that.
Drawing of the Three, Dark Tower 2,
which is odd 'cause it has
Wastelands.
3 in it.
Right. It's confusing.
They're fucking with you a little bit.
Wastelands is book Dark Tower 3, Wizard and Glass is Dark Tower 4,
What's 5?
Wolves of the Calla, and then 6 is Song of Susanna, and then the 7 is actually called The Dark Tower.
Okay.
Now that everybody knows that, Dave,
Everybody
what
else
were you saying?
already knew it, I'm sure, but I don't.
No, I mean,
If you didn't know it, there's
I
other people that didn't know
it
either.
up until like November. So I mean, yeah, there's probably people out there who don't know it. It's good. It's good. I'm in this situation where it's like, I kind of feel like I'm going slow to make it last a little bit longer. There definitely been parts that I did not care for, which we've talked about off mic a bit, where it's just kind of like,
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get to it when we do the series.
but I'm excited to talk to you guys about the books.
Me too. And it's funny how close the end is at this point. Tyler, you were on a big road trip. How much did you get listened to?
Right now, we're going through Callahan's backstory and
Okay.
Wolves.
Okay. So, yeah, we're all Dave and I are literally like probably right in the same spot.
Yeah, I'm like halfway
book
through
7.
part 2. So
Okay.
some cool stuff. Just like I got introduced to some characters that I did not expect to get introduced to. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, huh. And that's been kind of interesting.
Some
Man,
really
I bet the Sherwood Memorial Library in Dolan, South Carolina.
Yeah, I was wondering why all these books were so cheap on eBay, and they're all just old library books.
Well, they sell them sometimes, right? In the sales.
yeah, they do.
But I was glad to find all my childhood versions, the 4 that I had, to reclaim them again. I don't know what happened to them, my originals, but
One of the things that I caught about these later 2 books, especially, is he's gotten back into kind of injecting more of his horror into it with Mordred
Yeah.
and some of the stuff that's going on in these the end of Song of Susanna and the beginning of Dark Tower has been like more horror based, more spider based.
Yeah.
So, but it's been some of that shit is creepy.
Yeah. Well, talking about the horror is there's like a scene that's described. There's a scene that in the chapter that I'm on now that is honestly more horrific than probably anything that I've read in the fucking series, including anything with Mordred. And it is just because it is so fucking gross.
I know what you're
and
talking
described
about.
in such great detail.
Does it involve a mirror?
It does involve
Yes,
a mirror.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That
I
was.
just heard that right before dinner tonight.
Oh boy.
Oh, so
Oh, I
gross.
shouldn't.
Oh, so gross.
Yeah, super gross. So, but that is honestly
you're right.
like when I listened
It's
to that,
way
I was
worse.
like, man, this is honestly, honest to God, the fucking worst thing I've heard in this series
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah,
is-
it's nasty.
is that.
It's fucking nasty.
It's super nasty. Other than that, playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. Got all the crafting jobs up to like at least level 45. So that's nice. I got that going for me, which is nice.
That's coming out on Xbox, I think.
It's out today, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's out today. And then I think they've got a thing going on. I saw like a post earlier today where they're like, limited time, you can get access to Final Fantasy 14 and Realm Reborn in the first 2 expansions. And I'm thinking, that's like what you offer in the free trial. Like, what is this? What's this marketing thing that you're doing? So I don't, either it's bullshit or I don't understand what's going on.
So is this a monthly subscription that you pay to play?
Yeah,
like
it is.
Ultima was kind of thing. Okay, gotcha.
Ultima
or
and WoW.
World of Warcraft and all those. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it sure is. Been playing, you might be surprised, little Gran Turismo 7, because Henry is showing some interest in cars. He tried Need for Speed, wasn't his thing, and because that was on Game Pass. And he was like frustrated with it. And I was like, dude, I know you and I know what you like, and I know that you like to. I know what you'd like. I think you'd like Gran Turismo 7. And he's like, what is Gran Turismo 7? I was like, well, it's the most recent Gran Turismo game. I said, well, actually, let me take it back. You would love Gran Turismo 2. Because that's the one I played. I don't know what it's like now. Let's watch some videos. And we watched some videos. And
I played 3 and 4, and I fucking loved them.
yeah, I know you were a
Absolutely loved
big
them.
fan.
And I just want to say, our friend Corey, who had zero fucking interest in cars or mechanics or anything about racing, got super drawn into that whole thing because of Gran Turismo 3. Like, that's how good that fucking game was. It's like, I fucking walk into our apartment one day and this dude's got a fucking notepad out and he's writing down like what he can afford to buy
Yeah.
for this particular car, for this particular race. And like, he's got a fucking flowchart, you know? It's like, holy shit, man. Yeah. Good games. Real
Yeah,
good games.
7 is, we've been playing it pretty casually. I mean, I hadn't played one since 2, so I've like do a really bad job of like comparing it to other Gran Turismo games, but it's done the trick. I'll just put it that way. I got it for like $40 at Best Buy, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is something he's into. We can check it out. We can play it together, which is the big thing, you know. Spend some time with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, he got into it. There's a shop where you can buy, you know, used cars. And so like he got really into that, and like it was cool to see him like because you got to grind a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
to get
Yeah,
some
you do.
money to buy. And he saw there's a, is it Porsche? You pronounced it
Yes.
Porsche? G3 911
Okay.
that he really wanted.
I bet.
And it was like, okay, well, we can't afford it, so we got to get to racing. And it was really cool to see him like grind for it because he got so much better at racing.
Right.
I wish I could.
It's
I
a
wish I had been
dual
recording
purpose.
it, like capturing it, so like you could do a side by side where it's like,
Yeah.
this
Like,
is where
look how
he
much
was.
better you are now.
Yeah, this is where you were yesterday.
Yeah.
and then versus today. So yeah, it's been cool.
Oh yeah. It's
I've-
like when you do things more often, you get better at them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So practice.
Practice.
Practice. I don't know. I can't personally recommend it because I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about the Gran Turismo movie that was recently released. It's from PlayStation Studios.
It's pretty old with Clint Eastwood. It's pretty good.
Huh?
Gran Torino.
Oh, right. Gotcha. But
That's a
it's
classic TADPOG.
apparently gotten a lot of good press, a lot of good reviews. I've heard it's a great movie. I plan to watch it, even though I never played the game. But it might be something to add to your list of things to do with Henry.
Yeah.
If he's into it while it's fresh, you might look into watching that movie because I've heard good things.
I'll check it out. Knowing him, I think, and based on what I know about the movie, it's kind of like Gran Turismo players do actual like real life racing, like get recruited to do like real life racing. I think he might be into that. That's a 50-50 because I think the video game part of it might take him out.
So it's the last Starfighter meets
That's what I
Gran
think.
Turismo.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I haven't seen it,
Really?
but I think that's what it is.
Oh, I have to watch it now because if I will know immediately if that's what they're doing. That's what the book Ernest Cline Armada, total ripoff of the Last Starfighter.
That's what I've heard.
Absolutely, it's a great book, but I see what you did there. Oh, and before I forget, speaking of Porsche
Yeah.
and Overwatch, there's another cross. There's another cross promotion coming to Overwatch. Diva is gonna have a Porsche skin on her, like her Mac,
On the Mac.
is gonna be a Porsche. And
That is
I don't know
so
how they're
fucking
gonna.
random.
I don't know how they're gonna
random.
do it.
They're going full Fortnite, man. Like they see
Oh,
what
yeah.
Fortnite's doing, and they're
Yeah.
like,
Oh, well, I
they
mean, the
put
Cowboy-
fucking
Listen.
Disney in
Cowboy
there.
Bebop
We got
thing
Cowboy
is-
Bebop.
The Cowboy Bebop crossover has been the most. It's first of all, it's impressive as fuck because the skins are amazing.
Dude.
But second of all, I have seen more people in game with those skins than I have ever seen on another cross promotion.
And
they
I-
did like a La Seraphim promotion with all the female. A lot of the female characters got, dressed up like members of La Seraphim. It's like a K-pop or J-pop group, and that promotion I hardly ever see any. I got those too, but I hardly ever see anyone wearing those skins. Every game I've been in since Cowboy Bebop, someone is wearing one of those skins. It was a huge success.
That's good.
And it's a little thing, but I just love that every time I fire up the game, and like as soon as it gets past the little loading, it drops to the splash screen, and I just hear da 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 da. And I was like, yes.
I didn't like them. I didn't like this.
You didn't like
You
them?
didn't like the skins?
It's because I didn't realize that I got all excited because I'm used to Fortnite, and the way Fortnite does it is it's the characters. They put the characters.
Right.
in the-
Yeah.
No,
I didn't
yeah.
know, and then I saw it in the trailer, and I was like, why? Why do they look weird? And then I was like, oh fuck, they're cosplaying as
Yes.
the characters, and
Yeah.
then it was just
Yeah.
like it was so disappointing.
They said that for years ago. They said that they're not ever going to do the characters. They're always going to. They're trying to bridge the gap between it to almost create inside the Overwatch universe a common factor of where they would be cosplaying as these characters and,
Yeah,
not
like-
having the
like
actual.
Ash wants to look like Faye Valentine.
Right,
Like she wants to
exactly.
dress up
And I get
like
that.
Faye
They do that at
Valentine.
Halloween.
It was just like I picked up a
I
Dr.
see exactly
Pepper
what you're saying.
expecting a Coke, and I took a sip and was like, "What the fuck? God damn it! Fuck!" is what happened.
It's like I don't hate Dr. Pepper that much, right? But
Right.
when it's
Well, me neither,
unexpected,
but when it's unexpected.
yeah, no, I get it. I know. what
Man,
you're
somebody
saying.
at work called Dr. Pepper barbecue water the other day, and it has
Barbecue
fucked
water?
with me.
That's hilarious.
Ever since I heard it, like every time I want to drink a
That's
Dr.
funny.
Pepper, like barbecue water. God damn it!
It is actually pretty good description of it.
I think they did a good job with the skins, and I'm glad that
Yeah,
they're,
they
I'm
look
glad that they're
good,
successful.
but I see what you
It was
mean.
like I was. Because I'm used to Fortnite. I play
Yeah.
as fucking Goku. in
Right.
Fortnite. It's not like Fortnite guy dressed as Goku.
Right.
It's like, well, this looks just like him, right? I'm like,
Yep.
yes, it does.
Yep.
They're like,
Yeah.
we did Piccolo too, and I was like, I'll buy that.
Yeah, and I did that.
And I say thank you, Si.
Thank you, Big
Thank you,
Big.
Big. when I played Fortnite, which I plan to get back into at some point, but when I play as All Might, you know.
Right,
But
yeah, yeah.
I have been so invested in Overwatch since launch.
That makes sense,
That
dude.
these characters have personalities
Right.
to me, and it's
Right.
neat
That
to
totally
see
makes
them
sense.
in those costumes.
Yes.
But I can see how you would expect it to be one thing and it be something else.
I feel like that's really good for their existing fan base.
absolutely.
But I do think that it's like one of those where it's like, dude, I was going to buy these skins. And then when I saw them, I was like, I don't even play Overwatch.
Right.
That's what happened to me.
right.
Because like this could have been a way for me to be like, I'm going to play some Overwatch. I get to
Right.
look exactly like Spike Spiegel. I'm going to play some Overwatch. But then it was like, I saw it. I was like, do I like the game?
Do I really want to? Because they were not cheap. I will say it out loud, even though I was trying to keep it on the down low in
I didn't
Discord.
know about that. Is that a meme or something?
No,
the
it's-
$20 skins. I thought they were like
it was $50.
$50 for a
all
bundle.
for all four
shit.
of them.
But that's what I've heard this thing going around, like not only in our
I
Discord.
was ashamed. it's shame for spending $50 of my dollars on something like that.
But how much do you get a bunch of skins?
You
And
get
there should be
4
5,
skins,
right?
and there's
5.
one that you earn through.
Oh,
You earn
okay.
the earn the Hammond or Wrecking
Ein,
Ball /
yeah.
Ein through achievements. Anyone can earn that one if you not achievements, but like they have like weekly and
Yeah,
daily
it's like experience
thing, and you
basically.
get so many wins, and you do all these different things, and you can earn the skin. But the other ones I had to pay for, and they were expensive, and I'm ashamed of myself.
I mean,
But but I'm not.
You like
really.
it. You like the
Yeah.
game. You like the show.
I support Blizzard
Yeah.
and Overwatch. I do.
So
So
don't be ashamed of that shit.
I just don't like to say it out loud.
Well, it's just that
That's all.
cognitive dissonance of loving the game so much, but not thinking it's worth that amount of money. So you do it, and your brain's like,
Yeah. What am I really getting here? Bye. You know.
maybe this will make you feel better. We were asking if Final Fantasy 14 is a subscription service based game, and it is. I pay them extra so that I get imaginary people that sell things for me,
Okay.
yeah.
and I
when you say it like that,
and I have 5 of these.
And the thing is, I like to use one of Tyler's phrases. I don't want to yuck on anyone's yum. I don't have a problem with
And I
people.
use that from Justin McElroy. So it doesn't-
Spend your money on what you will. I just don't like for people to know what I spend my money on all the time,
Oh, I get
because
it.
I don't like to feel judged, which I don't currently feel judged by any of you. But I just always, because I know better. I know that's a
You
waste.
will be.
It's kind of a waste of money. But on the other hand, it's not a waste of money because I'm enjoying the fuck out of it.
if it makes you happy.
So if it makes you happy, it
Shokro?
can't be that bad.
Yes, Shokro.
Okay. Sorry, I've hijacked your
No, it's all
segment too many times tonight.
One other thing is I thought about you, Ian. Started rewatching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm giving it another shot.
I
Okay.
thought you were going to say Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
We watched that
Two.
together.
still need to see the second one.
That's a good anime.
It is.
It's a good
anime. I
a
haven't
good
watched any anime in a while, but JoJo's, and I have not picked back up on JoJo after part 1 of Stone Ocean I stopped watching.
We are not far in. Nikki and I are watching it together, which means that it is a slow journey to
I
Mordor.
want the feedback.
We're not taking the Eagles.
The feedback that I want from you is over the one that is in Italy.
Okay.
It's like the third. I think it's like the third season. They're in Italy.
Okay.
It is the most homoerotic thing I've ever seen in my life. And I think I mentioned that
You could also be talking about
before.
the Jersey Shore, and it would be the exact same line.
You
First
are-
season they're in Italy.
you are
It's very
correct.
homoerotic.
It is an anime of Jersey Shore.
Is that the one where Speedwagon goes phone keys wallet? Was that a thing from Jersey Shore? Was that
I think
Jersey Shore?
it's Jim Tan Laundry. Is that just because Melissa fucking loves it, and I've picked up a little bit through osmosis.
Yeah, because I've heard that acronym GTL, right? Yeah.
I will never forget JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I do want to pick it back up. So when you get to Stone Ocean, which is like season 4 or 5, let me know.
Watching it while reading The Dark Tower has been a treat.
Oh yeah,
For
okay.
sure, because of like there are some similarities and like there are times when I'm like, is that a type 1 vampire?
Well, and they do the whole,
very rare.
almost a very
I think
similar,
he is though.
the whole Demeter thing, the whole last voyage
Yeah,
of the
I know,
Demeter.
right?
It's
It
very
was fucking
similar.
Crazy because
with,
Nikki and I watched Dracula.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like Dracula.
yeah, it is. It is. So that's neat. I'm glad you're watching that.
Yeah. The color in that enemy is really
Oh, it's beautiful.
nice.
I really love the visual style of it.
Man. That's it. That's all.
JoJo is Roland.
Long,
And
tall,
another
ugly.
a long, tall, and ugly. And another level of the tower, JoJo is Roland. Just think about it.
Okay.
When you as you watch.
Okay, I will.
Tyler, how you been, buddy?
So my company, whenever you start, they have to send you to a training hospital for a week. So like a brand new hospital was built in Cincinnati, and their director had to go to the training. So my boss was like, they can't function without one. I want you to go up there for a week. Okay, sure. It's much smaller, much smaller. Like hospital I work at is like, I think max is like 230, 240 beds. This is a 60 bed facility.
Holy.
But it's brand new. Like my mind was blown when I walked into it. Like, oh, my hospital was built in the 60s.
Yeah.
And this is brand new. Holy shit. But because it's a 60 bed hospital, it functions totally differently. Like that director does everything. So I was going in thinking I was going to do my job. No, I was doing like 5 jobs. Did not expect it. So I walk in on Sunday morning. They're like, all right, go in, with breakfast. So I walk in and like I didn't have a badge to get in. I had to wait for like a nurse to walk by and let me in.
Oh, you tailgated?
Yeah.
Can't do that, brother.
Not in a
No, you can get in
hospital.
trouble.
I found the kitchen, and all the one was there was like this 18-year-old kid. And I was like, "Hi, I'm in for the director this week. So what do you get? What's the start of your day? How do you get started?" And he's like, "Well, you cook breakfast."
Does the director
Okay.
cook breakfast?
Apparently, because there's no breakfast cook. So it's like, okay, where's your everything? When do you start serving breakfast? 30 minutes from now. Wonderful.
It's better than 30 minutes ago. That's where I thought you were going.
You're right. You're right. I cook. You bring me all the shit I need to cook right now.
Because it was, thankfully it was, really small census, so it was fine. I fumbled through it.
Wait, you said it was a 60-bed hospital?
Yeah.
So you cooked for like 10 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like,
Our director
I have a
cuts
shi-
the crusts off my toast.
I just imagine that kid like it's like the meme where it's like, and then I told him, you cook.
and he did it.
His podcast.
fucker
He's
just
talking
did
about
it.
that. You're not gonna believe what happened.
I just stood there. That fucker did all.
What's really funny is I don't even work at the hospital.
Because I kept
I was
asking,
delivering the sodas.
I kept asking the kid, where's this, where's that, and just shoulder shrug. I started like last week. I don't know. I was like, oh, this is awesome. We got through it. Eventually, like somebody came in for dinner.
Here's
so it
$20.
was
Go to
fine.
McDonald's.
I mean, and then the evening cook was like, all right, well, I'm off tomorrow, and I was like, oh, there's no cook for breakfast or any of the meals tomorrow. Okay, so I got to figure out a 16-hour day tomorrow cooking everything.
Oh my God.
Cool. So, but it wasn't fun, but it was a good learning experience. Like I'm a chef, so I figured it out. But like not knowing like the menu or the processes or the kitchen sucks. I didn't get it down until like the day I left.
Tyler, I admire you and your ability to adapt to situations like that. I would have been like, well,
Do it on LinkedIn.
this was cool for a while, but nah, man, I'm not doing that.
Be on the phone with McDonald's. I need to know how much it costs to have 38 McMuffins in here.
Do you honor dietary requests? Thanks. Can I have an easy to chew egg McMuffin? And a
Just
renal
dunk it
egg
in some
McMuffin?
water.
You just steam that motherfucker, all right? Like, make it real soft.
But I did eat at a Mayploy. I assume they were affiliated. It had the same like rooster and everything. Mayploy that makes the chili sauce had a restaurant up there, a Thai restaurant. I ate there. That was fucking amazing. There was a sushi place right outside my right outside my hotel room, which I actually got like a great hotel room, like right next to the hospital. So that was cool.
You just walk over.
Just walk
Oh,
over there.
nice.
And like I walked in like 20 minutes before they closed. I was like, hey, I'm sorry I don't like doing this, but like, I get something to eat before you guys close. And the lady was like, yeah, normally it's pretty limited on what you can get to go because this is a buffet. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. Sorry. She's like, it's okay. We're about to throw it out. Take all the sushi you can fit into this container.
Nice.
And you're like,
yes,
yes,
ma'am.
Watch me work.
So, like,
Message received.
yeah, it just looked like a coloring book and rice. I just crammed. that
Time to
shit
put
in
my
there.
Tetris skills to good use. Dun, 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 dun,
That was a good deal for $20.
Hell yeah.
Like, I got sushi for tomorrow.
Great.
I ate it for 2 days.
Praise God and the man Jesus.
I had a great Indian. Listen, I went to a great Indian food restaurant. I wanted
so
to do
jealous.
something different than chicken tikka masala, so I asked the guy, and he said, "Try the lamb sog." I was okay, sure.
Lamb sog's
fucking
good.
Great. I love the lamb sog.
Where did you go?
What was it? It was like it's like Tal Point Indian.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Okay. I haven't been there. I was curious though if I had.
It was
'cause
really
we go to
close.
Cincinnati.
It was really close to like Newark and Fort Thomas or something over there,
okay.
like on the edge. I was about to say, and then honestly, I was blown away because Melissa was feeling nauseous one night. So she was like, "I just want something plain. I just want like a steak and a regular potato."
Oh, she went with you?
Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
she
cool,
went. She and
cool.
Jack and Kenna went, and yeah,
Nice.
while I worked, she took them to like the aquarium and to, like some action
fun.
parks and stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because it's like, oh, hotel room on the company dime.
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Pack them in there. Yeah.
$60 a budget. They'll pay for food every day. Cool. Let's go.
Fuck yeah, that's stipend.
Yeah. And pay for my mileage up there. Cool.
That's a low per diem. I'm just saying. You
Per
need to
diem.
get more.
Yeah.
Get more next time. I'm not doing it unless you triple this per diem. They'll do it. I promise.
And then, because the Outback next door to the hotel was like, man, our Outback fucking blows goats, man.
Well, the rumor about our Outback that I've heard since I was in high school was that they'd throw steaks in the urinal and then they fired the whole staff, which I'm sure is not true. But actually, never mind.
Tanya
I'm not
opened-
sure it's not true,
Yeah.
but it's probably not.
Tanya opened that Outback. I can
she?
find out.
Yeah, ask about the steaks in the urinal.
She would know.
That's kind of like the.
She's like, yeah, that's why I got fired.
For going into the men's room. It wasn't for the steaks in the urinal. It was because I kept going into the men's room.
But that's
to throw
kinda like-
steaks in the urinal.
I feel like that's the go-to urban legend when it
Yeah.
comes to like.
Well, you
a
can't throw them in the
Shitting in the
urinal in the
Wendy's
women's
chili.
bathroom.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's another big one.
So I don't know that I buy it, but
I've got a pin on my backpack from Tanya's days at Outback, as a matter of fact. It's a hammer for some
hammer?
hard work reward
Oh.
thing. I guess. I don't know. Little golden hammer.
work for 5 more years, you get the sickle.
But you better not join the union.
Well, speaking of hammers and sickles, what Tyler? What else you got, man?
That was a good one.
I was about to say that was about it.
Okay. Well, I was
So I didn't watch Hunt for Red October or play the game until like today.
Okay.
Because we left the kids there. You know, they're 14 and 18 here by themselves while we went, and they managed just fine. But when I came in, holy shit, the
House was fucked, wasn't it? Yeah.
So I took the day off to set it back to zero.
Like fuck how?
Just dishes and food and everything everywhere. So they made themselves food and then just like set everything on the counter so it was
I leverage.
Hey, man, I got a 12-year-old, and that dude is the laziest motherfucker I've ever met. Like, holy
we work
shit.
together.
Well,
I say, and you work with Brandon.
ooh, but nah, man. Well, yeah, but they didn't live in my house. It's like, man, I'll go into his room, and I'm like, we did. You're right. You're right. You're right. But I wasn't responsible, though. You know, it's like I walk into his room and I'm just like, there is a fucking trash can 10 feet away. Like, put that shit in the trash can, man. Come on.
I try to leverage Henry's fear of ants.
Yeah, do that.
Still
yeah.
doesn't work. It's still every time I find something, I was like, dude, throw this away. You don't want ants, do you? No.
But Dad, how am I
I'm
ever?
gonna have to like strategically plant some ants in the house, like you
How
know.
am I ever going to get over my fear of ants? If I don't cultivate some.
It's immersion therapy, Dad. I'm trying to get over my fear of ants.
I'm buying it.
Because Choco Chica will want to eat in her bedroom, and then just like when she's done with that plate, where does it go? Under the bed.
Oh
So what does the bed look
No.
like? Penicillin farm.
Oh shit.
No. Don't do that.
Yeah, Charlie doesn't do that, so I can be like, but man, his desk, holy shit. It's like you just took a dumpster and just threw shit all over it. It's like, come on, man.
Granted, I mean, I'm glad they were to film for themselves so we can go somewhere like that and not have to like
Yeah, that's
bother
nice.
grandparents and set up shit. So I'm thankful they did it. Still the king. The king was Jacob our freshman year of college. Whenever the pipe broke and leaked into his bedroom, he just didn't want to fuck with it, so he didn't. And it
Wait,
was just
Jacob?
Jacob of bullfighting fame. So the carpet is just wet mold, and there are like books and shit as stepping stones to the bed.
Yeah.
So it's like moldy, and he did the same thing. Like him and Leva both just they didn't want to get up and walk through the bog, I guess. So it was like moldy food and shit everywhere.
Oh no.
And when we finally called like the landlord out to see it when it got so bad, they said, "No, it's your fault because you kept Walmart bags in here."
Oh, that's the Walmart bag story. I remember that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Walmart
Yeah,
bag disassembled your bags.
Didn't
They're
you
so
know
heavy.
that Walmart bags break down steel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a 9/11 thing?
Yeah. There were too many Walmart bags inside the Twin Towers.
So we did,
That was
and
the
then
problem.
like I did a whole Andy Dufresne thing because I remember I was typing a paper and the internet went out and I lost my paper and I just went and I punched a hole through the wall and then just put a poster up right over it until we left, and then we were gone. We did not get our deposit back.
I want to know how
Like, who likes
Shocking.
Raquel Welch? I mean, she's been around a long time. It's a weird poster to have in here.
No, it's more like, who likes strong bad? This was 2002, John.
I want to know what the call was like to the landlord after like waiting so long. Was it like, you're not gonna like this?
I don't know.
Like, how do you
Something
start?
just happened today. We're calling you as soon as it happens.
It's weird, man. I've been gone out of town for 5 months. And
Because those landlords gave us, I remember the AJ when he was drunk, like, I remember I said, AJ, let me see your cell phone. And he just picked it up and like fastball through it right past me through our front window. And like they charged me through the fucking nose to come fix that window. And then like they would always, they took down information on our cars. And anytime there was a car there for more than like 5 hours, they have to knock on our door and give us a hard time. They better not be taking showers. We're paying for that water.
5 hours?
Yeah, it's like guests could only, and no guest could stay overnight ever.
What?
And they were building more on at that time in that subdivision, so they were there every day, all day. So they would watch for us to fuck up, and we did a lot. So
Guess
technically, the last day they evicted us instead of just letting the lease expire. They just said, "You guys are out."
guess how many
Okay.
things that you just said are illegal.
Oh, I'm sure. And they would threaten us like,
Yeah.
"You signed that contract, and it's got teeth. It'll bite. It'll tear you up if you try to do this."
Scare
They were-
tactics.
yeah.
Yeah.
they were
oh,
assholes.
man. You could.
Love 'em. You had good landlords, smart ones.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of hammer and sickle,
Yeah. We got kicked out, in October. It was a red October.
a red October indeed.
in case y'all haven't picked up on our subtle hints, this is the end of this segment.
Where we smoothly transition.
Where we smoothly transition into the next
So
segment,
smooth.
where we're going to talk
Fucking
about
Crocodile Mile.
the hunt
So
for Red
smooth.
October, the SNES game and movie.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
All wings, check in. Red 3 standing by.
Red 6 standing by.
Red 5 standing by.
Red button standing by. Red Fox standing by. Big Red standing by.
Red October standing by.
Helen Reddy standing by.
Simply Red standing by.
And now for the game talk and the movie talk.
Ah, yes. Yes. Human bee. Ah, yes. The hunt for Red October.
Yep, that's a movie.
I had never seen it before. I watched it for the first time. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I liked it a whole lot.
It makes me happy to hear you say that.
It's a great
I
movie.
didn't expect to. I didn't know what to expect going into it. I knew it involved a submarine. I knew Sean Connery was in it. People love Sean Connery. I'm not like the biggest Sean Connery fan, so I wasn't like, okay.
I like him in Highlander.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't
Ian,
really.
Ian has heard this. I never watched the Sean Connery Bond movies when I was growing up. I never watched it. Like
Me
the
either.
first
me
Bond
neither.
movies that I watched were like Pierce Brosnan Bond movies,
Yep.
right? So this was Sean Connery to me. Like this was the first time I saw Sean Connery in a movie and was like, "Oh, that dude."
I liked him in The
okay,
Rock.
he's fucking good. And The Rock was significantly later, I think. But-
Probably the first time I saw him.
yeah.
I mean, I'm
yeah.
not saying that was.
But it was definitely the
significantly
first time
later, but
I
mean,
saw him and was like, "Holy shit! Okay, I get it." Like
I
I
Bet
can
a
see
Leave
it.
a Extraordinary Gentleman is the first Sean Connery movie I ever really saw.
Which one?
I haven't
Oh,
seen a League of
wow.
Extraordinary
Okay.
Gentlemen. I heard it was horrible.
It's
but I haven't
not
seen
good
It's not good. No.
at all.
And it's what
funny
forced
is
him
he
into
didn't-
retirement.
Well,
Yeah,
he didn't
was
know.
phoning it in hard.
He didn't
Yeah.
have any idea what it was about. He didn't.
Oh, that makes sense.
The whole time he was going through it, he was just doing it. He didn't know what he was doing, and he didn't understand the script, so he was just pretending, kind of like
because he passed on Lord of the Rings.
yeah,
So
he passed on
He didn't
Lord of the
understand
Rings.
it,
Yeah.
passed on it, and then was like, "Well, fuck. Well, I'm gonna get on the superhero train. What's that one? I'll do it."
I feel like he was all in on this one though, like on for Red October. Like,
And this is a Tom Clancy book, which I have read. It's a fantastic book. The book reads, some of it reads like fucking stereo instructions, but most of it is really, and there's a lot in the book that wasn't included in the movie. I mean, shit, the movie was already 2 hours long, a little over 2 hours.
When I saw that today, I was sad.
Yeah.
I was too. Like, because I was like, fuck. I was hoping this was going to be like a. Because watching movies for this show sometimes turns out great, like it did for Red October, but a lot of times going into it, for me, it feels like homework. It's like, here's this thing that I have to do, but it's worth it because we're going to talk about it. And
right.
So it's worth it. But so when I do see a long runtime, it is usually like, fuck. So yeah, I saw over 2 hours and it's like, damn it. It went by really fast.
Yeah,
I was going to say this. Like, I've watched this movie multiple times, and I've never really been like, "Oh, this is going to take a while." You know, like it's always passed by pretty quickly for me.
So the problem though that you run into, and if anyone is interested, there are several really good Tom Clancy. Jack Ryan is the name of the main character that is played in this movie by Alec Baldwin. Jack Ryan's been portrayed by several actors over the years, and they kind of have to keep going back and resetting, and because but they're based on books every time. Harrison Ford picks up the Jack Ryan mantle after Alec Baldwin's one appearance as Jack Ryan in this movie.
I liked him.
I did too. He was
did,
amazing.
I thought he did a great job of not being like
an actiony guy,
right?
Yeah,
like too
and that's Jack Ryan.
badass. Like he's like, I write fucking books for the CIA,
I'm an
bro.
analyst.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I liked
Pulled
that.
me out of the cubicle for this.
Right.
Kind of like
He's
that's,
like-
that's the feel.
Exactly. That's exactly what Jack Ryan is. That's what happened.
The scene where he's like crawling through, going after the Russian
The Die Hard scene,
saboteur,
as I like to
and
call
he's
it.
he's
what I
fucking
thought of.
crawling along that. And he's just like, "You write a fucking memo, Jack," or it's just something along those lines. I think he actually says that when he's in the helicopter getting ready to be dropped down. It's like, next time write a fucking memo, Jack. It's like, I love that. I love that he's not this fucking action hero guy.
Now, in the books, Jack Ryan is a little bit more adept than sort of the way he's portrayed in this movie, and they leaned into that pretty heavily for this to give you that sense of this is regular dude in action situation. And it works really well. Alec Baldwin did an amazing job, and I think he could have easily carried that on to the other movies. Harrison Ford does a really good. I don't know why.
I'm curious.
It may have been some deal with some other movie franchise at the time. I'd have to look. I did not do a lot of research for this one.
didn't either.
But what I do know is that Harrison Ford picks it up. He does like 2 of them.
Patriot Games and
I can't remember the other one.
yeah, there's
either.
another
What's
one.
fucked up is like I didn't even know those movies were like connected until like real recently.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, those are all movies I haven't seen but have heard of, and didn't realize that they were connected. So
Yeah, and it's the same character play. So at some point, Ben Affleck is in one. Chris Pine plays Jack Ryan in the most recent one, which is actually really good.
And I have 2 stories for you regarding Alec Baldwin's departure.
Oh, please elaborate.
He says it is because he wanted to do A Streetcar Named Desire on Broadway.
Okay.
It is more commonly believed he was fired.
The studio
Really?
said,
Yep.
"You'll never shoot a man with a prop gun again. Get out of here."
We don't like the way you shoot guns. You'll kill somebody one day.
Too soon. Man. Too soon. So
that.
I can imagine that Alec Baldwin, despite my love for his work, that he's probably not an easy guy to work with.
Oh, yeah.
Or like you
Probably
related
not.
to.
He seems like he might be kind of
He'll be the daughter of.
yeah.
God, that roast where she was just
No.
not a roast. Just like, I hate you, Dad. Here's why.
Yeah.
I have a public forum to tell everybody why I hate you and how terrible you are.
But this is Jack Ryan. This is Alec Baldwin young Alec
Yeah,
Baldwin.
yeah,
This
this
is
is-
Beetlejuice era Jack Baldwin.
'cause this
Jack
is- it
Baldwin.
is.
Now I'm just mixing their names together. Alec Baldwin. This was not long after he did Beetlejuice, which, by the way, the trailer for Beetlejuice dropped today. It's fucking going to be amazing. Anyway, yeah, they.
I thought about that, and it's like all growing up, like, or not growing up, but like a little later on, it was like Alec Baldwin was the headliner.
Absolutely.
And in
he was
this
the big
movie-
fucking deal.
Sean Connery is the headliner.
He was-
and he's just the other guy.
But they play well off of
Oh, they
one
definitely
another.
do, and I
But
like
Tim
that this,
Curry's the one who steals the show.
I feel like
Yeah.
this helped to establish him as like a leading.
Absolutely.
man, you know.
We've got some really heavy hitters in this one. As we said, Sean
Mm-hmm.
Connery, we've got Alec Baldwin, we've got Tim Curry, we've got Sam Neill from
Sam
Jurassic Park
fucking
fame,
Neill,
who does an amazing job.
Vasily.
And
James Earl Jones.
James
Yeah,
Earl
Earl
Jones,
Jones.
Darth Vader.
Star-studded.
It is.
We were excited. Like, and the credits are great because they put all their fucking names in the very beginning, real big.
You're
and
in for something good here.
And we didn't know. We had no idea. Neither
Yeah.
Nikki or I had seen this movie, and we're like, "Oh fuck, shit! James Earl Jones, fucking Tim Curry's in this movie." I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, all right.
And then bad English accent, Gage
Command and Conquer
McFadden.
character.
Skellen Skarsgård
Yeah.
is the fucking
Yep.
captain of the Tupolev.
And,
Or am I saying that? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the other boat, the other Russian boat. His
The
like
one that actually blows up.
yeah, he was like the mentor of this guy. It was Skellen Skarsgård.
Oh,
I just watched in Dune Part 2.
One of the other names of a big name in that one for me and now it's slipping my mind now that I'm trying to think about
In
it.
the Hunt for Red October.
In the Hunt for Red October, he was the captain of the California or the whatever the
Scott Glenn.
Scott Glenn, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
big-
Jaws.
big goddamn deal.
Yeah.
yeah. He was in Urban Cowboy as the heavy in Urban Cowboy. Really good actor. Love his work too. So yeah, really star-studded cast. Really well adapted from the book, which I'd seen the movie before I read the book, and then I got on a, much like our friend Brad from Arizona, I got on a Tom Clancy kick there for a long time. It was just couldn't get enough reading of those books, and I listened to them, and I was really into them. So it was nice to hear the book and get all those extra things and extra moments and scenes that weren't in the movie. But absolutely, pound for pound, it's in my top 50 of all time. I really, really enjoy this movie.
It's a good movie. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I would watch it again. Like, this is one I could see where it's like, yeah, okay, I would watch it again. Henry watched all of it.
Really?
Which is incredibly rare for him to sit through a movie. There were...
Your son likes vehicles.
Yeah,
I'm
he
picking up on this.
Loves vehicles.
Flying, driving, and apparently submersibles.
Well, Nikki was like, the day before we watched it, and I was like, hey, I got to watch Red October for the show. Would you want to watch it with me? And she said, yeah, I'd never seen it. And she said, you know, Henry would probably like it. And I was like, yeah, he might. But she fucking nailed it. She was like, no, I think he'll like it. He's, for whatever reason... He loves vehicles, of course, but for whatever reason, he is like really interested in Russia.
That is not uncommon.
And
Believe me, that is a
'cause, like,
thing.
The movie started, and it's like we were like, we're watching this movie. You can if you want, and like, God, I can't remember how it opened, but it opens. I mean, it lets you know this is the fucking USSR.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He
right
was
out of the
immediately
fucking
like,
gates.
oh, that's the USSR. And he like sat down. He's like, what's this movie about?
Well,
The
and
submarine.
I'm surprised-
Oh, okay.
Truly, one of the most moving scenes in the movie is when the captain of the Red October, he's like, "We're going for it." You know, we're doing it, and they all start singing the Russian national anthem
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that's some shit
and they blend it in with like you can hear like it fades in with like a choral version
Yeah.
of it where all the men are harmonizing it. It's super cool to hear that. It's a great scene.
What I love about that too is he's like, you know, like Vasily's like, what about the singing? Because they've gone silent at that point. Like they've kicked in the caterpillar and they're silent. And he's like, what about the
Explain
singing?
kicked in the
Yeah,
cat.
hang on a minute. Let
Oh, yeah,
let
sorry.
me back up a little. Let me
So-
back you up a little
yeah, go
bit
for
so
it.
we can talk about The movie takes place in 1984 during the height of the Cold War between the United States
my
and
birth
Russia.
year, yes, the two
and
important things that
your
year.
birth year. And the 1984 was a really good year. I've said it 1,000 times, and you are a large part of the reason why. But there is this very seasoned, experienced Russian he's an admiral, right?
Captain.
Or just a captain.
Yeah.
And Russia has developed this technology called the Caterpillar drive for their submarines that allows it to move silently through the water. So they can move at full speed without making any noise, which, as anyone who's ever seen a movie about submarines knows, that they operate on sonar. So if you're making noise anywhere within miles of a submarine, they can hear you. And so this Caterpillar drive was designed to help their sub move silently through the water.
So everybody knows caterpillars famously make no
Are
noise.
very hungry.
going through the water.
Yes.
They're very hungry.
Okay. It's because of the way the engine works.
They eat through the water.
To speak to
silently.
that, to speak to that, one of my favorite scenes is actually the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off plays the
engineer.
The engineer, yeah. Jack Ryan has this picture
What did he
that
get in
was
trouble
like
for?
smuggled. Like he was like I don't remember.
Kitty
It was like
porn.
something.
Yeah.
And something real bad.
Also
Yeah.
was in Beetlejuice.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
Holy
was
shit.
Lydia's dad in
But-
Beetlejuice.
But like,
I wonder if he's in Beetlejuice.
No,
probably not.
listen.
I thought
There's
he
a
was
scene.
dead.
There's a scene where they're all standing at a grave in the trailer for this, and I think it's him. I think he died.
Makes
In
sense.
the
Anyway, the
sense.
thing that I like about it is that, or one of the things that really I feel like drives home like what a
I know
game
what you're gonna
changer this
say,
technology
'cause
is.
I was getting ready to say it.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Nope, you say it. Do it.
Fuck it,
Is
I'll
that-
say it. I don't know what he's going to say.
He takes this picture, like he has this picture that's been smuggled out of Russia, essentially, that is a picture of the doors on the side of the sub. And he takes it to this guy who like builds fucking submarines. He designs fucking submarines. And like he sees the picture and he looks at him and he says, "This is real? They actually built this?" And like at that point you're like, oh shit.
So-
and he's just like, they could fucking park a sub off the
what he
coast of
says
New York,
is,
and then
what he says is, when I was a kid,
yeah.
I lived in Florida, and we spent all of our time preparing to get bombed by the Russians during the
By
Cuban
some
Missile
idiot
Crisis.
who put a missile 70 or 90 miles off the coast of Florida.
And he said this will allow the Russians to park missiles in the harbor of New York, and no one will know it. And it's just because this Caterpillar drive it passes water. The book goes into a description of how this thing actually works. And what it does, it's like a jet engine, only instead of air, it passes water through it, and it just sounds like water.
It's like a hydroelectric
Yeah.
or hydromagnetic.
I'm going to buy this book for my son.
So what happened?
I know it's way too
It's
like
super
above his
technical.
level, but
He'll
fuck
probably
it.
read it 5 times.
It's super
if he
technical.
doesn't-
It is very technical. So anyway,
gamble.
what happens is the captain of this sub, who has this decorated war veteran of the the Russian Army, the Russian Navy,
Born in Lithuania, though.
decides to defect.
Scottish
That's
accent.
kind of important.
Born
Yeah,
in
that's-
Lithuania.
Yeah, he decides to defect, and he is going to take his crew and the sub. He's going to use the Red October, the
And
most advanced sub in the Russian Navy.
Well, and
it's not just him, which is important.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
They specify that he's in a position because he trains all of these other sub commanders because he's such a like high, anyway, he's in a position to pick crew officers specifically that are, that are also wanting to defect or that are at least, sympathetic to his cause.
but
Yeah.
not
That's really important.
But not
because
everyone that's on the sub
No, the
is
crew
is in on it.
Right.
is not in on it.
Right.
Only really
Yeah, it's
the
just
officers,
the officers, right.
know what's going on.
And I really like the movie does a really good job of like explaining things to people like me.
Yeah.
where it's like,
No,
I went into this knowing nothing about submarines, but not once in the movie was like, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
That's really important.
Very
too.
important.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could lose someone so easily with this kind of stuff, and you're right, Dave. They do an excellent job of keeping you on point and knowing what's happening. And even though a good third of the movie is in Russian and with subtitles, you know, you gotta it still
There were
works.
subtitles. Were there really
for the Russian?
Oh yeah.
You know, when
I know.
I watched it.
I know
See,
where you
I'd
watched
seen it
too.
before.
Yeah.
I'd seen it before with the subtitles.
Because I was kind of like, man, they're fucking raw dogging this shit. We're just gonna have to like figure out the context clues that they're talking about.
That happens a lot on the platform you're talking about. You miss a lot of important shit that way.
You
in
should
a lot
watch
of
it
movies.
again.
I really don't.
But
I
if
mean,
you could,
I mean,
You got the gist.
yeah, I honestly do.
You really do.
like. I mean,
And I know you
There's
are
a
also
few-
fluent in Russian, so I mean,
there's a few little
that
things
goes without
that
saying.
add to the ambiance.
well, when I watch it again, which I will,
Yeah.
I'll make sure the subtitles are turned on.
It's on the Mac. It's on Max. So if you've got HBO Max,
I don't. I cut fucking pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I did learn that Caltech apparently makes the best sonar operators.
Yeah.
Period.
Now Tyler,
Courtney
Say it-
Vance.
They
So-
say it 10 times in the space of 30 seconds.
That dude-
Caltech.
That dude,
Caltech.
Courtney Vance, has been in a ton
Yes, he
of
has.
fucking movies.
Yes,
he was
he
in
has.
like Hamburger Hill and bunch.
You
of
just
other
made that
movies.
up. There's a movie called Hamburger.
There is a movie. It's
Burger
a Vietnam
Bottom
War
Hill.
movie called Hamburger Hill.
so I got a question. Tyler, what did you think about this movie?
Yes.
I don't like movies like this.
Okay.
It just hammered it home to me that like this is not my thing. I don't like a slow burn realistic thriller.
Okay.
Just I like either a deep intricate story or fantasy or higher action.
Yeah, there's less action in this movie than I
Yeah.
kind of expected.
Yeah.
But I went in knowing
Until the
nothing,
very, very
so-
Right.
end.
Well,
Same here. I didn't know anything about it, and I was just, I struggled.
It was a slog for you.
It was a huge slog.
Okay. Well, I understand. I get it. I mean, it's not going to be
I mean,
everyone's
in
cup
movies,
of tea.
I'm just weird about movies anyway,
Right,
just because
right.
I don't.
yeah.
Generally, if you were to like, you like movies? Not really. So it has to be something tailored to my taste specifically for me to be
Yeah.
like, that's a good movie.
It's just not the form factor that you're accustomed
Yeah,
to.
and it's just nothing about it. Nothing about it interests me. I don't think the military and all that sort of grounded in gritty realism and none of that stuff appeals to me.
See,
So
I
it's
just-
I can see where it's good, where you guys
Yeah.
would like it if you like any of those. But it was a fruit salad made of fruits I don't like.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I get it.
I get
it.
that. At the same time, like, I find it fucking amazing that people do this shit. That literally, like, you can join the Navy and might get fucking put on a submarine. And that's what they do. They operate underwater. Like, there's no fucking. The thing about submarine combat that gets me is that
They don't
it's
fucking see anything.
Yeah, there's
That's-
no windows. They don't know where
And
the
they
fuck
did a
they're
really
going.
good job of that. I felt like
They
because there's
really
a point,
sell
there's
that
a point in the
shit.
movie where I'm like, holy shit, they're right the
that
fuck
is-
next to each
yeah,
other.
it's
Like
creepy.
what the fuck?
When they're running
It's
the
tense.
fucking when they're running to what is it, Thor's twins, they're in the fucking like
Yeah.
basically like a ditch in the bottom of the ocean, and they're running in that, and they have like very specific maps with very specific times, and like when they're doing that shit, and like it's all just math. Like they're just purely doing this shit on math and time, and you're just like, it is nail biting
fucking
when they're
crazy.
doing it, and you're just like, holy shit.
Well, and it touches on that so well. And again, I refer back to the book. Tom Clancy knows his shit. And they really injected as much of that into this movie. And they do this on the other movies as well, heavily. Because, like, Tom Clancy has been debriefed by the CIA because of shit that he has published that they're like, how do you fucking know this? Like,
War Thunder forums.
yeah, 4chan.
Like one of the things that gets me
I'm a
about the
4chan
movie is
modern R
how,
Paul.
like you said, you're never wondering what the fuck's
slash
going on.
Paul.
They even make a point to they even make a point to note the fact that they're working on the submersible vehicle that they take with them.
Yeah.
They're working on they're retrofitting it with a docking collar that would work for other countries' submarines, which is why it works on the fucking Russian submarine.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know,
that
it's
didn't
like
even register
little
for me, to be
little
honest, but
tiny
I
shit like that
appreciate
where
it.
you're just like, oh wow.
Well,
okay,
they treat
that makes sense.
treat the submarine program much like they treat the space program, because all stuff that's made to go into space is compatible docking clamp wise with everything else from other countries,
Right.
because
It needs
you
to
might have to save someone's life, but it's kind of important that you have a good seal between the two ships in
either
both
place.
environments.
It's super important. And that's what I was talking about, like with sub combat. Like the thing that's interesting to me is like it's a one and done type thing.
Right.
Like you don't, unlike the video game,
Yeah.
you don't take
Hey.
But that is also
damage
one and done.
and then like slowly get blown up. If you get hit, you're fucked. Like just one hit is all it takes and you're done. Like, and it doesn't matter if you're in a fucking tiny little submersible submarine or a Los Angeles class nuclear power fucking sub.
Yeah.
If you take a hit, you're probably done.
Well, then Battleship lied to me.
Yeah, because I could get
Well,
like
I feel like
4 on my
Battleship probably wasn't written by Tom Clancy.
But what if it was? I think it'd go a little something like this.
Welcome to the game, Tom.
But yeah, that I mean, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think there's a whole lot more to say about the movie.
sorry.
You go ahead though. No, from my perspective, I don't have anything else. John, what else have you got, buddy?
I love this movie. Like
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie.
fucking
And
love it,
and
too.
I love the whole thing with Courtney Vance and the sonar and
Yeah,
him
yeah.
telling the story about him fucking, getting fucked up by the biologic and everything. Like I
You
just
see,
love
the guy saw a mermaid and a shark eating an
a
octopus.
squid. And I was like, you should have led with that one. You led with mermaid and followed with shark eating a squid.
I love that they set up that the caterpillar would sound like a magma displacement
Right.
or like a seismic activity, and like this dude is like he puts it all together and he takes it to the captain and he's expecting the captain
When
to
he hears
shit
the
on him, and
singing,
he's like,
too.
"You fucking sold me." Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like he's like, speed it up and tell me that's not fucking man-made. I love it. I love how intricate it is.
It
And I
is.
love
It is.
how
It's technical.
They do such a good job of explaining it, but not make you feel like they're explaining it.
Right.
You know?
It doesn't make you
It
feel
just seems
stupid.
like part of the story.
It's
Yeah,
done like a
it's
good
very-
puzzle game where it's like, oh, fuck, I'm smart. I'm not. But like the game made me feel smart. Like the movie made me feel. I got to the end of it. It was like, I know everything.
I know
about
everything
submarines.
about
I don't.
I could totally drive
I'm
one
going
of
to go tell the
these.
internet this right now.
Yeah. What do you fellows think about Typhoon class submarines?
Actually,
Actually,
Anyway,
it's good shit. It really is. And
watch the fucking movie.
yeah, give it a watch
good.
and
It's
take
good.
take what Tyler said to heart. If that's not for you, if that's not the kind of movie, this is a slow burn. It's very interesting and very
do watch Down Periscope.
suspenseful and
Yes, watch Down
but
Periscope too.
There is not a submarine movie I've ever seen that I didn't like. By the way,
Oh, let's talk about Crimson Tide sometime.
Tide, it's got, Down Periscope,
But the other thing,
The
that-
rest.
all the rest,
all those other
There's a Gerard Butler
movies?
one that
Das
came
Boot?
out not long ago. Yeah, Das Boot.
U571.
U571's a good
Good
ass
fucking
movie.
movie.
There were no Logitech controllers in any of the submarines that we watched.
Oh,
So,
It's true.
hitting all
And
the
that's
big
why they're
ones.
still here.
TADPOG's playing the hits.
We really are. We really are. All
Pretty
the,
morbid on this episode.
all the news that's fit to print. If you will.
It's some of it. It's not.
And some of it's not.
I thought. So I think that is true. But I also didn't think I would like this movie because it's like also I like thrillers, so maybe that has something to do with it. And honestly, like man, having Henry sit through a movie
That's crazy.
Fucking crazy thing.
Well,
It's
and
like he's not like getting up to like go play a game. He's fucking locked in. I mean, there are several points where I'm like nudging Nikki and like, look at him. He's like hasn't blinked in like minutes.
Should we missed his eyeballs?
So
I mean, I do feel like that speaks to the nature of this film, though. It's like it's made to it kind of hooks you and keeps
it's
you
very
locked in
character driven, and it's very, but it also speaks volumes to the way that the Cold War was back then. And it's not an exaggeration. It was really that fucking tense. It's a story that he made up that falls into that time frame, but all this political shit going on at the time was real. When Rocky IV came out and everybody was like, boo, boo, Russia's bad, boo, boo, boo. That was Boo Earns.
I was saying Boo Earns.
But this was a more, it didn't feed off of that anti-Russian fervor so much as it painted an accurate picture of the way the military and the government of the time functioned. And the real true threat. There was so many times during the Cold War that we were in very real danger of destroying everything. I mean, there was times where there were minutes before all the nukes were going to go off, and then some miraculous thing happened to keep it from. That
some
shit
back
is
channel
real.
bullshit, like what happened in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
That shit is fucking real.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's the
Clancy
thing,
is a master storyteller when it comes to painting a picture of the way things are in a certain kind of political climate, particularly this one.
Well, now we know the Russians haven't upgraded any of their technology since this movie.
Right.
So they're
Not
all
much.
running off that 1990 tech.
Not much.
Against Ukraine.
Like I'll tell you a story off the mic. You might find interesting.
I thought the movie, I like, there's like a famous scene. Well, you guys are talking about how a lot of it isn't, a lot of the movies in Russian. And then it switches from Russian to English.
I love how they do
I've
that.
heard Kevin Smith talk about this. He talks about this so many times. It's like
So
one of his
good.
favorite, like,
It kind of
transitions in cinema, because it's like they zoom in on Sean Connery's mouth as he's speaking Russian, and then as it zooms out,
It's the political officer
speaking.
that
Oh,
he's
you're right.
talking
It is.
to.
It is
Yeah.
a political officer. Yeah.
Sorry, I just watched this like last night, so it's all super fresh.
Yeah, yeah.
but it is a brilliant transition.
Dude, it's so good.
It's cinematography at its finest.
I like the cinematography. I thought it was good. I
Yeah.
thought the pacing was good too, because I honestly feel like they were cutting between things. They didn't. To me, it didn't feel like they were lingering on anything. They kept touching, like they would touch on this point, and then touch on that, come back to this, add something new, come back to something that was mentioned earlier. It felt like it was constantly doing that.
Well, and because of that, it keeps you interested in what's happening, because something's always happening in one of the multiple kind of storylines that's happening.
And I also thought it was interesting how, like, they set up, I feel like they're setting up Tim Curry in the beginning of the movie to be like an adversary.
the foil.
And then some sabotage happens, and to me it feels like, okay. I mean, I kind of was like, I think I know what they're doing here, because I've watched
I like
a lot
about
of
it-
movies, but they're trying to make us think that he's the saboteur.
Yeah,
And
and then like you eventually find out that no, he just bought it.
right,
Like he was just totally convinced by, the story, by what they pulled off or managed to pull off, which was also brilliant.
yeah,
I
it's
thought.
great. I think it's great. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So since we kind of started doing this, looking back, so this is the first time we started doing the movie and the game together, was last June with Hook.
Wow.
So since
We're
then,
coming up on a year of this.
I've watched more movies
Yeah.
last year than I have in my entire life.
That's
Is
crazy.
that for real?
Yeah, at home, 100%.
Wow,
That's awesome.
Kind of cool.
I mean,
broadening your horizons. Sometimes.
I've liked them for the most part. Love Hook. I like True Lies. Okay, but it's still a little similar to this. What else? Demolition Man, Cliffhanger, Judge Dredd, Last Action Hero, RoboCop 3, Dirty Harry, Alien vs. Predator, and so on and so on and so on.
Hell yeah.
It's the most manly list of things I've ever heard.
Pre-manly, maybe.
Yeah.
Wayne's World, The Blues Brothers, Clue, Top Gun, Karate Kid, Toys, Casper,
Okay.
Yeah, there were some killer ones right there, though.
Dracula, and now this.
I love it.
Yeah. We've been doing this for a minute. You're right.
I like that we're continuing this theme. It's fun. Gives us a lot of interesting things to talk about.
I like it too. I'm worried what's going to happen when we run out.
We'll figure it out.
This is a finite resource.
We're good at adapting. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I.e. the show ends. No.
So we'll talk about the game.
They made a
Yeah.
video game. They went and did it. They did what they said could not be done. They made the Hunt for Red October
Colon
video game.
the game. Yes.
They made one for the Super Nintendo, which is the one that we are going to talk about, and they made one for the NES, which we are not going to talk
They
about.
made one for the NES?
They made one for the NES, yeah.
It fell into that same category of games. Both systems were active at the time.
Yeah.
So
The game came out it's pretty early. It came out for the Super Nintendo in January of 1993, which is 3 years after the movie, but it is January. It might as well be 1992.
right.
Which is a pretty early game in the SNES's.
But I bet, Dave, if I asked you to tell me what is the one thing about the Super NES version of this game that sets it apart, that makes it unique from any other game out there that might
from like four other games.
four other games out there.
Well, there are not very many Super Nintendo games that are compatible with the Super Scope light gun accessory that is available for the Super Nintendo.
Now, you'd think they would have made it compatible on the NES, that they would have made it compatible with the the light gun.
The
Zapper.
Yeah. The games were developed by different developers.
Oh, that always makes sense.
Riedel developed it for the Super Nintendo. They became Running with Scissors. They're the Postal people. So they made the Postal games way down the line. We played a game that they developed. I think it was like an educational game or something. I can't remember. But they started out, they did Spy versus Spy for the NES. I think it was like one of their first endeavors. Riedel developed the Super Nintendo version, and then the NES version was developed by somebody else. Can't remember who it is. They were both.
It was me.
Damn it, man. I wish you'd have told me.
I didn't make any money off of it.
I watched the short play. I know why.
Yeah. I wasn't very good at what I do.
Actually, it looked okay.
Oh, there's also a Game Boy version.
Oh, I did not know that.
I was trying to look at.
I could see that being a Game Boy game, a good side scroller, which is essentially what this is.
Yep, it is a side-scrolling, for the most part.
Beam software.
Beam, yes, Beam.
Yes, Cuban Beam.
That was a beam quake.
It was a beam quake. I felt myself rising up over it.
And Beam made Shadowrun. It's the only thing I recognize that they did. Okay.
It is a side-scrolling shooter, except instead of in space, like most of them are set, you are underwater, piloting a vehicle that functions a lot like a spaceship because you're underwater.
Right.
So
it's just slower.
It's yeah, ish. I mean, I think of like R-Type 3, and it's like, but yeah, I don't know. I'd have to compare them side by side.
I'm shocked there's not literal slowdown though with all the shit on the screen.
Lots of stuff going on.
There wasn't.
Because I didn't feel it chugging.
The 2 minutes that
Me
I
playing
played.
through Earthbound, there's lots of fucking slowdown on Earthbound.
Yeah. I experienced
And R-Type.
a few, R-Type notoriously so. I noticed a little bit of slowdown in some of the bosses because that's the bosses just fire so much.
Oh yeah,
like the strategy.
sparkles everywhere.
The strategy of the boss was just fucking brute force, like
scorched earth,
spam. And it's like when that happens, when that's going on, it's okay. But then like a little enemy submarine comes from behind. It's like, well, what's going on? And then all of a sudden,
What you guys
one
doing?
sprite. It's just,
It went over about one. Yeah.
It'd be ashamed if everything slowed down.
Let me turn this thing around and kill that submarine.
And when you turn, so you can turn around and fire behind you.
Yeah.
And when you do it, it's real slow.
But you still progress
And
going
the
forward.
animation is literally like 4 frames, like blop, blop, blop.
You're being generous. You're being generous. It's technically 2 frames.
It's 2 frames.
Yeah.
Because it's you facing one direction.
And then facing right at the camera.
And then they just flip the original spot.
Slowly. Because it's a submarine scene.
Yeah, because submarines move super fast, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
This one does.
This one does. They also have unlimited torpedoes, fire super fast. Yeah.
It's crazy to play a game that like disregards the tech.
Total disregard.
Like as much as it does based on the movie that like lavishes in it. It's,
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but at the same time, I got to be honest with you guys. I don't want to play the version of The Hunt for Red October that is the movie. I do want to play it's a side-scrolling space
We had to sit
shooter
there for
in the
10
ocean.
minutes and turn the volume of your TV all the way up to
It
try
is-
to hear the thing.
It is a space shooter in the ocean. I was thinking about like when I watched the movie and I knew that there was a game and I hadn't played it and I didn't know anything about it. And I did kind of wonder like, is there a level where you're like,
Negotiating.
where you're running a fucking sonar console trying to find the other submarine?
No, I'm thinking of the political intrigue part where you actually, there's the level where you have to negotiate the terms of this guy's defection.
Right, yeah.
That like just made me think it could be like a thing where it's like go to dinner with wife or investigate photograph of submarine, which made me think: is there only one woman in the Hunt for Red October?
Basically,
And that's Gates McFadden, who played Dr. Crusher on Star Trek,
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
didn't
Next
know.
Generation. Yeah, and she,
bad British accent, Gates
yes,
McFadden.
terrible. But yeah, I
She's
love
Gates McFadden. So she gets a pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there
goes
is
way back.
one female, and that's her.
Yeah, because they don't have like at the time,
Right.
and they point this out in Down Periscope of all movies. There were no women on submarines at this fucking time.
They make it a point, like they look at
Like-
the camera and they're like, just so everybody in the theater
well,
knows, the time of this movie takes place.
I feel like at the
We're
time,
not sexist.
I feel like in
No one wants a rape
1990,
tube.
even
We're
so,
just not doing it. We're
it
just
takes-
not doing it.
it takes place in '94. I want to think the movie came out in '90, right?
I think it's fair to say if no one wanted a rape tube, then it would not be an issue.
The Hunt for Red October Part 2, rape tube.
I think there's proof that people wanted a rape tube.
Why do we get a woman in here? Shut the fuck up. I'm just saying.
You did say rape tube earlier, right? I didn't like mishear
He
you.
did. He did.
Because that'd be a bad thing to
I said
mishear. And then be
I
like,
like-
rape tube,
I
rape tube, rape
missed-
tube.
I missed that.
Great lube to put in
I
tight
missed it
spaces.
entirely.
Great lube.
It
Can
was
we
just like,
retract
whoa,
that?
what happened?
Can we pull that out?
He said it.
Anyway, yeah, so even in 1990 when this movie came out, I don't think they allowed women on submarines. They definitely did not in 1984, which is why there are no women on the submarine.
Right.
But
This
in
was not a
Down
criticism. This was
Periscope,
just
which
a
came out in
observation,
1992 or something like
Yeah.
that, they make a point because the character that's played by Lauren Holly, who shows up
96.
96. Okay. They make a point to even at that point in time say women are not allowed on a submarine, but this is a pilot program. So we're going to put this woman on your submarine. And they're really just doing it to fuck with him because they know that they think that it will cause a disruption.
Oh, shit, I found the connection. Bruce Dern. Bruce Dern is in both The Hunt
Wait.
for Red October and down Periscope.
Who is he in the Hunt for Red October?
He was. I remember him being there because
And Laura
No
Dern's
shit.
father,
Laura
who
Dern's
was in
father.
Jurassic Park.
With Sam Neill.
With Sam Neill.
Think about it.
There's a
Canada.
lot of connection there. Canada.
So you can use a super scope in this game.
Yeah.
There are segments where you
That was definitely the best part.
you go from I mean, it's a part. You go from the side scrolling to like a shooting gallery style.
Which I must say, before we talk to that bit, John and I both tried to get to the point where we could use the super scope in the game and failed miserably. We had to get Dave to bail us out and get us there so we could try this thing today with the super scope, because this game is hard.
Yeah.
John, you made a comment earlier when we were playing that you compared it to Top Gun.
Yeah, because you mentioned that there's a very limited amount of missions and they're not super long, but they're also super unforgiving.
Unforgiving is a very good
and
way
that
to put it.
sounded exactly like Top Gun, which I owned. I feel like if I had owned this game, I probably would have not sucked at it quite as much as I do currently.
There's a learning curve to it. I feel like it's hard to pick it up and be like,
feel like-
oh, I'm
Yeah.
decent. I'm passable at this game just from the first go.
Yeah, because you start out, you do have a limited number of ammo, but you have 4 different ways to shoot. One is straight ahead, one is straight up. You've got like a lob grenade almost looking type of thing that
Which
kinda
makes
lets you
perfect
fire
sense
in
under
an
the
arc.
water. Yeah.
Right. And then you've got sort of a carpet bombing thing that you can hit stuff on the ground straight down. Almost, it's at an angle, but it goes straight down to the ground. That's kind of hard to manage.
And it feels weird at first because each one's assigned to a face button on the Super Nintendo, which
we've complained about not using all the buttons in the past. And then here I am saying it kind of sucks that they used all the buttons, but I think it was just almost, and I see why they did it, because it's nice to have all those options.
Yeah.
It's just that,
you don't
again,
cycle through anything.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that-
that's
so,
nice too.
It's so fast because if you had to cycle through, that's just
that learning curve comes into play there.
I think that where's John going? John, don't die.
I thought something bit John the way he jumped up.
I'm so unfamiliar with the NES that I had to go get the controller.
I'm so unfamiliar with the SNES, I call it the NES.
Did I say NES?
You did, yeah.
I thought I said SNES. Sorry. I've been drinking a little bit in
know
case
what I
you
was
couldn't
thinking.
tell. But yeah, so the face buttons, right? So A is the furthest to the right,
A is where B should be.
and it scrolls to the right, like most video games. However, if you want to shoot a torpedo to the right, you don't use the A button. You use the Y button,
Which is on the left.
which is on the left.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
It would have been nice.
they match
why?
the direction.
Or
Why?
if you could remap.
Yes.
If you could remap the controls, I think that would have made it
That
better.
would have done a
when you
lot.
get used to it, it's not a big deal. But like
Yeah.
out of the gate, for sure, I ran into that too because it was like, oh yeah, these are not intuitive. Like they're not
No.
intuitive. The buttons are not intuitive to what.
what
weapon
gets
they
me
fire.
though is to shoot down, you use B, which is the furthest most down, and to shoot up, use X, which is the furthest most up. But not front and back. That shit's different.
Yeah.
For some fucking reason.
Yeah, they didn't get. I think Dave's right. I think put them where you want them, but give us the option to put them where we want them,
because there's a lot.
so we can make it intuitive. And that's an easy fix. That's something that could have just easily implemented without causing this.
That was such a PC gaming thing. I don't know why like console games didn't let you do that for like a very long
right.
time. I
It
mean,
was a
customizing
It was a new
controls was
feature
like-
to a lot of games at some point where it should never have been even a second.
When we
thought.
play it, I mean, we've played a few SNES games that let you do that, and every time it's like, whoa.
That's
okay.
always on the list of good things.
Yeah, and
Right,
also
yeah.
this was definitely on DOS first, right? Let me look this up. Yeah, it was. The console developer was like, oh yeah, well, I mean,
we can do that.
it
It's
take
easy.
more
Why
work to
wasn't-
not do it. So
Why wasn't that a thing? Like, it seems like it would be
man.
like, I can't imagine that would take up a lot of space on the cart or anything, you know? Like
That's the only thing I could think of is space, but and time put in, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
But I don't like everything about this game because we made a joke earlier, like you were like, I'll play this for 3 minutes. I guess I'm ready to talk about it. It's like, yeah, you are, because nothing changes throughout the entire play of the game.
It's the same over and over.
It's the same weapons. You don't get like upgrades. You don't get, I mean, it's pretty much what you start with is the same all the way through. It's grittily realistic. One life, no continues, no passwords.
In that regard, it is.
In that regard.
In that regard where death is final.
Death
The
is
cartridge
really on
ignites.
this one.
Thank you for playing The Hunt for Red October.
But I get what you're saying. It's just like, this is the same thing 5 times, harder each time.
Oh,
That's pretty much it.
I think it's a pretty fucking hard game.
Yeah, I
agree. There's so much shit going on.
It's
bullet,
definitely
it's
hard.
a bullet hell at plenty of points.
It's a bullet hell where you move real slow.
Yeah,
I think it's not a super well designed bullet hell because like a lot of the bullet hells like are kind of one of those
Are good. Yeah.
Well,
or not bad.
okay. I like this video game. I don't.
You know,
I mean, I just feel like since you bring it up, it's probably the time for me to like confess. Boy, was I glad when I turned it on. I was like, thank fucking God, this is not a platformer where I'm Jack Ryan with a fucking gun, because that's what I expected.
And a notebook.
And then I saw the submarine in the water, and I was like, okay, I can work with this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right, what's it? Okay, all right. It's not perfect. But
it's not. It's palatable.
What?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about how fucked up it would be to have it be like a puzzle game where you got to like figure out what Ramius's intentions are.
Oh,
you know?
Well, dude, you guys were talking about like a true like submarine simulator. I think that would be interesting, but like on a modern, like with a modern development set, not on a Super Nintendo.
Right.
Like I don't want to fuck with that. It's like, okay, well I got to move this fucking Mickey Mouse glove over to this button.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing Aerobiz and it's like a submarine console.
Right. But if it's like, especially if they do some shit where it's like, man, you haven't slept in a while, huh? And then like buttons and shit start moving around.
I love the fact that in the movie they point out that like this dude is going on 0 sleep and like 8 pots of coffee.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, the oxygen scrubbers aren't working properly. It starts to get dark.
Yeah, like the tunnel.
Yeah, tunnel vision.
You need to dispatch a damage control team to Section 8.
Replace CO2 filters immediately.
Superior officer talking about mermaids and whales and a shark eating squid. It's like your concentration. Like it's like
It was Paganini.
but yeah, I kind of liked it. I think it's a pretty fucking basic game, but maybe it's because I haven't played a game like this in a long time.
I think that's where its charm lies. I can see liking it. And John, you mentioned too, you know, if I'd owned this game, I probably would have gotten into it and enjoyed it. And it's a quick, you don't have to invest a lot of time in it. You just get in and play.
It sucks. It doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've played worse.
I definitely didn't hate it. It's hard as fuck, but I think that, if I'd have had this game at home when I was a kid and had a lot of time to play it, probably gotten pretty good at
Especially
it.
if
Probably
you had a
would have
Super
really
Scope.
enjoyed it, to be honest. Especially the Super Scope parts. Like, I really thought that was
kinda
cool
neat.
as shit.
And I feel like I was worried. I wanted to test it with the Super Scope because I was worried, like, how do they transition from this fucking like side-scrolling shooter to like, I mean, you got to like rush to pick up the Super Scope.
I like how they do it.
And I like how they do it as well.
Yeah, so when you're going through the water, you touch an icon and it stops the game, gives you the chance to pick up the Super Scope, calibrate, test your aim as long as you want, and then when you're ready, you go in and you start shooting at boats and missiles and helicopters that come at you. And I've never used the Super Scope before tonight ever. I never even
draining my battery. Better turn it off.
Never even saw one in person before
All
tonight.
6 of them with the cost of batteries in the fucking room.
I was surprised at how accurate that thing was.
Yeah, honestly, I was
neat.
too. Yeah.
I could see where like long
I'm curious.
sessions of gaming could be tiresome, but
Yes, for sure.
but
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that's a good amount of Super Scope use, because then you put it down, go back to the regular game, pick it up again. I thought that was cool.
So I'm trying to play Metal Warrior like we did for.
Yeah, I remember you
hours
guys
on
talking
end.
about
It
how
was so
fatigued you
fucking
were.
hard. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I thought was interesting that I noticed like this time playing that I didn't notice when I was a kid, like playing my cousins, like over at my cousin's house using her Super Scope. If I just keep both eyes open, it helps a lot. So basically, like if I treat it like a red dot optic, it didn't bother my eye. Because one of the things, like if you shoot a lot, you'll notice that if you're using a high magnification optic, unlike what's on this, is a low, it's no magnification. If you're squinting that eye constantly on your off side, the one that you're not aiming through, you start to get like really blurry on the other side, and it starts to really fatigue the eye that you're trying to focus with. You know, so if you can shoot with both eyes open using a low magnification, like on that, it's not nearly as tiresome. But like when I was a kid, I didn't realize that. So I was like shutting that eye, trying to really, really focus with my dominant eye.
Man, I got to keep both eyes open because I need to see the shit that's coming in from the sides of the screen.
It does cut your field of view a lot.
You don't have any peripheral hardly at all. You've got a very limited view of what is right there in front of you.
Which is part of what makes it so accurate, though.
Because it's like you're looking through a periscope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those Super Scope sections are skippable. You don't have to hit the icon. You do regain health, which your submarine repairs after you do that segment.
It's a bonus section.
So yeah, it's a
effectively.
Yes. Yeah.
You can charge up, you can do this, but you don't have to.
Unlike in the side-scrolling sections, there's no limitation on ammo either, right? So I mean,
no,
you
there's
just
no limitation
spam
on
that shit
ammo
like super
in the
hard.
Super Scope section. And if you don't have a Super Scope, you can still do the bonus game, but you just use your D-pad on the controller to move
with a movable reticle.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like T2, the arcade game style.
Yep.
Yeah.
This game reminded me of a game called In the Hunt, which has a similar name to The Hunt for Red October, I guess. It was done by the creators of Metal Slug. I don't know if you're familiar with Metal Slug. It's like a Contra-like game.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of it.
They're good. They're fun. In the Hunt is, I think, a beautiful game. I played it on the PlayStation, but it had an arcade release like in 1993. Check it out if you get a chance. I think it's don't pay a whole shitload of money for it. It's not that good, but I mean it's worth checking out. If you liked The Hunt for Red October, it's a better version of that.
Gotcha.
With like some beautiful animation and stuff.
You guys got any achievements?
Kinda do.
I don't. Not today. Sorry.
Man, I really wish I would have
tried.
thought about the achievement section because I do love this movie and I feel like
I
probably
did think
could have
about
thought
it,
some,
and
but
I thought
I got nothing.
I really got to work on some achievements, and then it was time to record.
Yeah.
Before I knew it.
Then
And if
work
I were
happened.
to compare this game to a movie or celebrity, it would be Darren Hammond,
who
who played Sean Connery on SNL.
Yes. I'll take the
Forgot
rapists
Daryl
for
Hammond.
300. I'll take the penis mightier.
First achievement. You guys are gonna love this one. The Hunt for Green April, guys. The Hunt for Green April. Do you see?
I do.
Because
of the, yeah.
Yeah.
in order to unlock the Hunt for Green April,
Color in a month.
you play the opposites. So John,
Direct
come on,
opposites.
respect the brilliance. In order
You see, red and green are opposite one another. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're
And then
yeah.
April and October.
That makes sense.
Okay,
They're-
so
yeah.
go ahead. But the best jokes are the ones you have to explain.
As we've proven time and time again.
Yeah.
on this
Time
show.
and time again.
In order to unlock the Hunt for Green April, play the NES version on accident. Next achievement is Beyond the Scope. In order to unlock Beyond the Scope, destroy all enemies in a periscope level without using the super scope.
Ooh, good one.
And my last achievement is Lemon, shut it down. In order to unlock Lemon, shut it down. Turn off the game in frustration when you realize you're not playing as Jack Ryan, but instead you're playing as a Soviet submarine.
Right.
So
I like those achievements. Those are good.
Thank you.
So good I don't have to have any. If I had any achievements, I wouldn't have even said them. Those were so good. Tyler, do you have any?
I've got 3. My first one is 360 no scope. You unlock that by skipping all the scope levels.
Nice.
Friendly fire. Die from bumping into that fucking cruise ship you have to escort.
Oh, there's an escort mission.
Just like in the movie.
It's Speed 2 meets Hunt for Red October.
Just like that.
Instead of
It's exactly
Speed
what
2
it's like.
cruise control, it's
Dude.
Speed 2,
What?
the Hunt for Red October.
Someone mashed those movies up together. And I don't mean like cut scenes together, but like, here's the pitch. It's Speed 2, but also the Red October is there.
Underneath them. I'm saving
Two movies
them.
are happening. Maybe you do just cut them together. 2 movies are happening simultaneously. One's above the surface.
Somebody
and one's
needs to
under.
do this. I think it's possible.
We have the technology.
Then my last one is plop plop. You unlock plop plop by killing 20 enemies with a little drop weapon that looks like poop. You just
These are the depth charges, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
You want to see what Flopsy has to say?
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you have any guesses? Is Flopsy kind to the Red October?
I think it probably was. I'm going to say that Flopsy gave the Hunt for Red October 3 stars and that it is a uncommon.
That's how I wanted you to say everything from now on in that cadence.
I'm going to say
Tyler.
uncommon. Tyler.
Yeah.
Uncommon.
Uncommon. 3 stars uncommon.
That's
I
my
won't
guess.
remember, but
I
3
will.
stars uncommon.
I'll remember.
Thank you. Tyler?
3.5 stars common.
3.5 common. John Turley.
I had no idea there was an NES game based on, or SNES game.
You were right in both.
correct.
Well,
fronts.
yeah. Either way, I had no idea there was a game based on this movie. I'm going to go with 3 stars uncommon.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 stars uncommon. Yeah, I think 3 stars is probably, that's a good bet. Somewhere in that range. I don't know. It seems to me like the way they handle things at the Flopsy building is they're like, yo, who likes the movie The Hunt for Red October? And someone's like, I do. All right, you get the game. So then maybe, I don't know, maybe the reviewer's like, fuck, this isn't anything like The Hunt for Red October.
That's true.
Maybe that
But
could
I
happen.
also think they tend to cut that with, if it's based on a franchise,
They
I
do
tend
give it
to
a
think
bump.
that they give it
There's
a
a
bump
franchise
when
bump.
when it's
Yeah.
popular franchise.
And I think in general they skew positive.
Yeah.
in this
Oh,
book.
definitely.
So I'll go with 3 stars. I think I'm going to copy someone's answer, but I can't remember. I'm going to go 3 stars common.
Common
That's-
was him,
You-
but he said 3.5.
3.5 common.
Well, let's see what it is. We're all kind of in the same range. According to Flopsy, a.k.a. the ultimate Nintendo guide to the SNES library, 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mole Mike and a shadowy, mysterious benefactor. Hunt for Red October. 2.5 stars. Common.
Got us all.
They did,
Yeah.
except for the common part. Tyler had that much.
Based on the 1990 film, The Hunt for Red October is a mildly fun game.
Good to
Okay.
know that you put the work in.
Is that all they said?
There's a whole column. Yeah.
I agree, Flopsy. That's a good analysis.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I'm okay with that score.
I do think that the video game your mileage will vary. I could easily sit there and play it until I beat it, just because it's in my wheelhouse. I
Yeah.
like games like this. It's not It's definitely there are much better versions of this game on the system that happen to take place in space. But play those first. But if you run out of those, it's like, oh, okay.
So here's the way I
Station
look.
underwater.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is when I'm a kid, like in 1990, that's when this came out.
The game came out in 93.
Okay, when I'm 13 and I'm sitting at home playing this game, I'm not really going to give as much of a shit about whether or not it's accurate
Movie
to
accurate.
the film.
Sure.
I'm just going to play the fucking game.
Sure.
And I have
I'll
a fe-
probably like it. Now,
You
I'm
want
probably
it to
gonna
be
like,
movie
Yeah, I'm
accurate,
going to want
yeah.
it to be a little more accurate, you know? Like, so.
Yeah, Henry didn't want to play it. I asked him, I was like, you want to play it? He's like, nope.
He was like, this is nothing like the movie. Fuck
Sure
this.
don't pop.
I think too, this game probably coincided with the videotape release of the game of the movie.
Right, yeah.
To be in 3 years after the premiere. The movie probably ran for a year in the theaters. At the time, there wasn't, that would have been a big deal.
Tricked a lot of grandmas.
Yeah.
Thought they bought the movie.
Yeah.
Now they got to buy a Super Nintendo. No other option.
I wish I could play it, Grandma. If you could hook me up with a Super Nintendo, I'll get your money's worth out of that game you
Do we
bought.
want to check price charting?
What do you guys think? How much does it go for on price charting?
Well, for 2.5 stars in common, I'm gonna say plus. It's based on a fairly popular movie franchise. It's an okay game. I'm gonna go with $8.50.
$8.50. What do you think, Tyler?
701.
701. John?
You said it was common.
2.5 stars common.
$5.75.
$5.75. Actual retail value of The Hunt for Red October, the Super Nintendo game. Loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $7.47.
Tyler.
Very, very, very close
Within
answer.
46 cents. Nailed it.
Well done. Can't even buy a pack of gum for that these days.
That's true.
I remember back in my day, Tyler, if you were to give this game a beard, sums up how you feel about it. What beard and why?
What is a wig but not a beard for the top of your head?
Agreed.
So I have to give it Sean Connery's
It's in the Bible.
wig. Because he
Okay.
was wearing a wig throughout this because he had hair.
I didn't know that.
Spiky hair.
Really?
That's what was talked about in when I watched the cinema sins of it.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Tried
that
to
either.
put it-
I had no
that
idea.
it was a wig. So if that is my basis for saying that, it could be false.
Tyler, if you
Yes, Dave.
were to give this game a pair of glasses, that sums up how you feel about it. What glasses and why?
What glasses?
I
Why?
can't give this any glasses because submarines don't have windows.
First,
So none.
no glasses answer
It's Tadpog
ever.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
There are. What does he say? Give me a stopwatch and a good enough map, and I'll fly this. I'll fly a plane with no windows through the Alps.
Something very
Yeah,
much like
it's
that. for sure.
exactly what they
Yeah,
say.
something like that.
No, I think you got it dead to nuts. So
Yeah,
now what?
It's just crazy.
I think that's about it.
What we gonna do? What we gonna do next?
Next week, want to pull out the old movie randomizer, movie game randomizer.
Sure.
Let's do it.
You had mentioned
Movie
Spider-Man
game
and
randomizer?
X-Men. Do you want to do that? Arcade's Revenge.
I'm gonna do that if you want to.
I mean, you mentioned it. Just wanted to see.
So does that
I don't
mean
want to
I
skip
have
over
to
it if you
watch
wanna do
all
it.
the Spider-Man and X-Men movies?
Yep.
We each get assigned a Spider-Man and or X-Men.
That would be kind
And
of
report
funny
back.
to see who picks what. One Spider-Man.
I got X3.
No, we don't tell each other until the show.
Oh, we got to guess?
Until we come to record to see who picked what.
Okay. This is what happened in my movie. A bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Or yeah, we could do a randomized movie. Whatever works.
I'm good to do the randomizer movie thing then.
Okay.
Let's keep going on that train and save Spider-Man X-Men for
I
another
I
time.
just want to know if it's a
Okay.
movie that I'm like this one was. When you even mentioned that this was a Super Nintendo game, I immediately reached out to you. I was like, I want to be there.
You should just do that every week. You should just reach out to Ian. You should look across your desk and be like, "What game are you doing?"
It's
I'll
really
be there.
directly to my right.
Oh, sorry.
Just- yeah.
Forget it. It doesn't work anymore. We'll see you in July.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to do anything but turn his head.
Yeah. 3 days a week.
All right, we'll randomize us.
Yeah. So what's the list?
Are we praying? Do we have a list?
Yeah, I think you've been doing it.
Oh, I
Oh,
haven't.
have I?
I haven't prayed
Okay.
in a long time.
It'll come back to you. It's
To the
like riding a
randomizer.
bike.
Yep. You got this.
I gotta get in the right spiritual context.
If the listeners are hearing, John and I play with a toy car. We just want to let you know that's what you're hearing.
All right, so we'll
Okay.
do, and my phone's dead.
What was the last?
Because I know I had 1%.
I wish we were recording that on video because holy shit.
That's the randomizer speaking. Through
The
you.
show's done. It's been fun, guys. Most of the time.
Do you? What was the last one you remember seeing when you brought up the list? What caught your eye? What was in your view?
Jurassic Park 2.
We've done that.
We have done that? Okay.
We haven't done Jurassic Park 1. If you want to do Jurassic Park 1, we can do that.
Does that mean you're gonna watch the first Jurassic Park movie?
Will that get you back next week?
Maybe.
Is that a yes? Can we get that on record?
I'm supposed to be at the gym right now.
But you're not.
Yeah, you're right.
And today's
I was
not next
definitely like,
Thursday
for Red
either.
October, I'm not going to the gym that night. So
I am also not at the gym, John.
Crazy coincidence. I'm not at the gym either.
I'll have to look into it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but,
right.
but I mean, I would definitely make an effort.
I
for
just
sure.
watched Jurassic World last night.
For the first time?
Nah.
No, I figured.
No. No, it's like
Let's
we're
go.
up to like 7 probably at this point.
That's got Bryce Dallas Howard in it, right?
Yeah.
It does. It do.
And Chris Pratt,
Well, yeah.
but Bryce Dallas.
Yeah, but
Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay.
So
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park. Let's do it.
With a slightly chance of John Turley.
There's a 50% chance. Of John
Okay.
That's
Turley.
not bad. That's better than
I will-
most John Tully chances I get.
I will make a significant effort to be here.
Perfect.
So next week,
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Park.
I like it. I'm excited.
So thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, Spotify, not Stitcher, all over the goddamn place.
YouTube.
We got all sorts of shit going on, but most importantly, there's that Patreon.
We do have a Patreon at patreon.com/tadpog, or for a limited time, pisstasters.com.
You do it, John.
Taste the piss. Yeah. I feel like it has to be whispered or it doesn't have the same effect.
You don't want to say that out loud.
If you give us money,
Subtle.
And shame.
if you go there and give us money, you get bonus content that we've published over the years, and hopefully we'll continue to publish stuff too going forward. We do have plans, I swear. But we do have a list of executive producers. These are the fine folks that donate $20 or more per month to the show. And I'm going to read those names right now like I do every single week, starting with Cubicle Monkey, Plinko, Nick Price, Usurper Grim, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Gamebug Prime, Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Louisville correspondent, Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage. Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Drink Smith Joey Webster, and Derek Pope Sandwich. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Means a lot. And then, of course, as always, thanks to Dane for putting our show up on YouTube every single week just because he wants to do it. And I have a letter here from Brad from Arizona who had some things to say about the Hunt for Red October.
Good.
I always forget to read these emails until the end. I should put that note about thanking Brad at the beginning of my show notes so I can, do it then. But anyway, this is from Brad, and it starts, "What up, dogs?"
TADPOG dog.
DAWGS?
Yes.
Ashley Shake.
Okay, all right.
Master.
DAWGS. Z. DAWGZ.
Dogs.
I went through a Tom Clancy book phase. One time, this dude who worked at the same radio station where my dad did saw me with a Clancy book. I eventually put the book down and didn't finish it, only to have him ask me, "Who was your favorite character?" a couple of weeks later. Because I was 13 and awkward as it gets, I just stammered out that I pretty much liked all of them. What a question to ask about a Tom Clancy book, of all things. It's a bad sign when Nintendo Power laments that it's missing features from the Game Boy game. Did not expect that sweet Super Scope compatibility. Did anyone else think that the Super Scope 6 was the name of the accessory itself?
Yes.
Because I did. And then he gives us a very short article about the Hunt for Red October from Nintendo Power. Company High Tech suggested retail price between $49 and $59.95. Release date February 1993. Memory size 8 megabits. Game type side-scrolling submarine action with 9 missions. Captain Ramius is back on the Dodge, trying to sneak away from the former Soviet Navy with a super secret new sub. The Super NES version joins the Game Boy and NES versions. In some ways, this is the best. You have better control of the Red October and more weapons at your disposal. On the other hand, there are more baddies than before, and many of them are fast. If you have the Super Scope accessory, you can plug in for some target practice in the periscope mode. After the first mission, you'll be able to undertake other missions in the Caribbean, North Pacific, and Mediterranean Sea. With lots of enemy vessels surrounding you at every turn, the challenge is great. The Super Scope option gives the game an extra dimension. The two-player interactivity and fun of the Game Boy version of Hunt is sadly missing from this game. It's really a simple shooter that doesn't take advantage of the super storyline of the movie and the book. And then Brad signs off with, "Adios, motherfuckers."
Apt.
I like it, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad. And that's all I got to say about all that.
So how you guys want to close it out?
I mean, as Sean Connery, I reckon.
Absolutely.
So until next time.
Tropical.
Capricorn.
Dog motherfuckers.
Motherfucker.
Adios, motherfuckers. TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler. New episodes published Wednesdays each week and are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. If we like it, we'll play it on the show and respond. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. If you absolutely must send us a food item, please use caution and good judgment when doing so. Tasty snacks that look or smell funky or are past their expiration date by the time we get to them will be thrown away. Bonus content is available at patreon.com/tadpog with a minimum donation of $1 per month. You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/tadpogdiscord. Registration is free and we'd love to see you there. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show so you don't miss an episode. Now, where did I put that stinger? Oh, here it is.
I've heard so much about these books. I feel like such a fucking poser.
Hey, well, there's 4 of them you can take with you if you want. Join the magic.
I've been seriously thinking about throwing down for an Audible subscription just so I can listen. Because I'm terrible about taking time to actually read.
No, yeah, I would. If it wasn't for audiobooks, I wouldn't anymore.
Yeah, the audio book's the way to go with these, especially.
Probably pirate those if you don't actually want to do the Audible.
Ooh, I was recording that.
I said he probably could.
Yeah, that's just a statement of fact.
Suggest that he do it.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to coerce me into anything illegal.
You probably could fly to the moon if you were an astronaut.
Yes, you probably could.
You purchase the proper tools from SpaceX.
That's true.
Just pay enough money. That's really.
That defeats the purpose.
I don't have the words. We're recording.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.
John, talking to the mic.
Hello.
Oh, give me
Am
something.
I here? Sorry. Hello.
That was good.
That was pretty good.
Was it pretty good?
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I can
Thanks
keep it at
for
the.
listening to Audible.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this program.
I don't think I can keep it at this level though. Like I'll
You're
try.
gonna have
but-
to do something better than.
All right,
what you
Mr.
were
Nance.
doing.
I was gonna say, man, this is like a solid 8. I don't know if I'm here for this.
All right, Nicole, speak up now.
Then do you love this movie so much?
I do.
Okay.
We'll save that.
He's just baiting me
I think
for
I can
audio.
get your energy out.
Yeah, he's trying to get me. He's trying to get me built up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we're clipping like fuck, but I don't care. I'll make it work.